Hello and welcome into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've got another good one here on a Rocket League Wednesday as we're going to have Boise State. Unfortunately, the NACE door has closed, but another one remains open as it's PlayVS time for Boise State's blue and orange squads. And we'll have 4 matches between those squads coming up tonight. Start things off wishing everyone a happy Veterans Day as well. And just a really good job, a really big shout out to anyone who is watching. So, of course, big shout out if you served our country, work a lot with the Idaho Army National Guard. So a big happy Veterans Day to anyone who is watching or knows someone who is a veteran as well. We appreciate your service. As we get into the Rocket League, we're going to be kicking things off with Boise State Blue this time. They're going to be taking on UC Riverside. It's Michael Fisher, Peyton Wayton Wilkins here to call all of the action. Wayton, Boise State Blue, they've got a sour taste in their mouth. Lost their last regular season game of NACE to Montana, then bowed out in the second round of the playoffs. So they really want to turn things around here because we even saw them lose their last PlayVS game as well. So Blue, not typically the team we see struggle for Rocket League. They have had some issues here the last few weeks.
Right, yeah, last week, it just seemed like they weren't the team that we're used to seing. You know, the previous weeks, they either walk all over them with style or they'd have a pretty close game, but they'd come back in the end. But it seemed like last week, not that the opponents were bad, they were definitely good opponents, but we'd still expect to see more of them, so hopefully they bounce back this week. Yeah,
be curious to see how they do against UC Riverside. There can only be one, as it is Broncos versus Highlanders to kick off our first matchup here in PlayVS. Curious to see how Boise State Blue wants to respond, and it really feels like, Wayden, at least from my perspective, when Boise State Blue struggles, it's because the passing game just is not there. And it's really, really close, like you mentioned. I mean, it's a couple inches, but it's that Baynock Cosmo Buster connection that usually the pass just isn't there. Baynock's maybe low on boost, and that sort of shuts down the whole offense.
Exactly, yeah. It really seemed like whenever they lose, it really is because of that passing. They need that passing to connect and be able to score those, create those opportunities for themselves, because they seem to be struggling with it quite a bit when they're doing solo plays. But if you're mixing in solo plays with passing plays, your solo plays suddenly become that much more effective because the defense has no idea what your plan is.
So be curious to see how this combination wants to turn things around. As we mentioned, Boise State Blue has lost their last 3 games that we have seen, their last 2 in NACE, and then their only PlayVS game last week that we saw on the stream. As we get Doc's keys to the game, play fast. We've pointed out sometimes Blue and Orange, you just compare the two, and Blue feels like they're playing just at 2x speed. Maintain side control, confident callouts, and olay those demos. Something that teams have started to learn against Boise State Blue. When you get the demos, you can sort of open up that defense. It's all brought to you by Count, whose Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and enables a personalized customer experience for more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. Thanks to their award-winning AI, they're helping you stay safe online. Of course, with the holiday season's coming up, you've got Black Friday, Cyber Monday. You want to make sure you stay safe online when you're buying those holiday gifts. If you want more information, go check them out at count.com, KOUNT.com. Fish and Waiting here for Rocket League Wednesday. We fully transitioned over to PlayVS in the regular season as that winds down, and we're kicking things off with Boise State Blue taking on UC Riverside here. Broncos and Highlanders going to be kicking things off. Looks like Boise State will be in the orange. So we jump right into it. Nice kickoff there. Ace Pocket wants to try and follow it up, but Ducky smartly clears that one over to the side. Pringingo going to try and center that, but that was just a defensive breakdown there. There's not much to say.
Oh, yeah, just instantly Boise State putting on the pressure. And look at this. They have someone already there right underneath to put that pressure on the defense and force them to make the mistakes, and then that's exactly what happens. They take advantage. So Boise State off to an early lead here.
See if we can get another early kickoff goal for Boise State. Once again, it's Pink Juice who goes up for UC Riverside. He'll clear it down into the corner. Cosmo Buster bumps that one away from Ducky. Unfortunately, Pringingo not able to capitalize on it. Now Cosmo Buster pass over to Baynock, but nice intercept there. Ace Pocket wants to follow it up, but Ducky's going to clear it away from a charging Baynock. And you can see already UC Riverside getting in those passing lanes, but Cosmo Buster, that's hard to stop.
Man, that's placement and power and everything from Cosmo Buster right here was so perfect. See him jump up into it, hit it with the corner of his car. That gives him the most power, and he places it top corner as well, just right between those 2 defenders. It's so well done.
You see Boise State Blue showing the power we've seen most of their regular season in NACE as they're off to an early 2-0 start here. Bay not going to get that one off the kickoff. We're going to see Pangaro not able to stop that one, but Ducky is able to be the last line of defense for UC Riverside. He'll carry it up down solo. Unfortunately, he will be challenged by Cosmo Buster. Can try and pass, but a nice demolition there onto Pink Juice, and Boise State stifles the first offensive possession we've seen for Riverside.
Now, I'm seeing like UC Riverside, despite being going down 2-0 earlier in this game, it doesn't really seem like they're making many rotational errors. Like they have someone in net when they need someone in net. Just the placement from Boise State is so strong right now. As we saw earlier with Cosmo Buster, the perfect top corner placement, and they don't really need to get that many passes between each other if the placement is just that well with enough power.
Ducky's able to steal that dribble away from Ace Pocket, but Cosmo Buster Baynock in the corner. Baynock tries to play it around one, has no boost, can't quite center it. Nice challenge there by Pink Juice as Ducky's now going to take a shot on goal. It's a little bit high, and Cosmo Buster does a great job pinching it off the top of the goal and getting it away from his own net. Baynock going to try and take a shot from midfield. Ducky intercepts it, but Cosmo Buster right there actually misses the ball, and Ducky's going to make this a 2-1 game.
Wow, that was just an incredible play there from, I believe, yeah, I think that was Ducky. He flicks it up and then bumps Cosmo out of the way, kind of just being his own blocker as he flicks it up and goes in front of it. So it was really well done. There's not much you can do there on defense if the offense executes that perfectly.
Yeah, just a really great play. Something we've seen from Boise State time and time again, where once you take the shot, you got to find a way to get the guy out of the way. We'll see if UC Riverside can capitalize. 2-1 game here, 2 minutes passed in game 1 of this play versus series between Boise State Blue and UC Riverside. Ducky going to try and take a shot. He gets bumped off. The ball does waterfall, but Ace Pocket reads that one perfectly, able to clear it away. Can't quite be centered over to Pink Juice, and now Baynock can't quite steal it away. UC Riverside come alive here in the last minute or so as Ducky's going to put it on net, and Ace Pocket tries to get it out of the way, but Boise State still needs a clear.
Yeah, this is definitely way different from the first minute of gameplay that we saw from UC Riverside. It seemed like they were really boxing their half, but now that they've broken out and they're starting that pressure early on in these plays after the kickoffs, it seems like they're doing a really good job of keeping it, as since the last kickoff, it's been about a minute so far, and Boise State is struggling to get out of their own half.
There is a clear finally, but Pink Juice able to stop that one. Boise State now going to have to retreat once again as Ducky's going to clear it down. Boise State trying to get the clear. Pink Juice going to keep it alive right in front of the net. Boise State, nice job by Cosmo Buster clearing that one away, but Ducky's going to volleyball it right back over to the Bronco goal.
As we see Ducky, yeah, following it up perfectly. I mean, that was a great play on offense, but I think it was more of a mistake on defense here from Boise State. It seemed like, yeah, I guess Baynock thought Ace Pocket might have gotten a touch on that, but it just seemed like there wasn't that communication there. Ace Pocket maybe didn't let Baynock know that he wasn't able to get that touch.
To kick things off here at 2-2, just a quick side note for production. I am hearing a delayed audio stream in my ear, so if we could get that taken care of, because it's a little confusing to cast over someone else casting. So we see Cosmo Buster carry it down into the corner, can't quite corral it as Ducky's able to clear that one away. Ace Pocket can't get it. Baynock, last line of defense as he waterfalls it away from his net, and right now waiting.
Wow.
Ducky's really leading the charge for UC Riverside.
They are just bringing this right back. Boise State answered early with 2 goals right off the bat, but now all of a sudden UC Riverside just seems to be dominating the game. Again, there's that great placement, gets on top of the ball there to finish it off, and now all of a sudden UC Riverside has a lead, but plenty of time on the clock, 2 minutes left, just over halfway done through this game.
UC Riverside scored 3 straight goals. Springy, not going to try and dribble that one down. Baynock! Oh! That would have hit off the crossbar, but Ducky does a nice job saving that one. Cosmo Buster going to try and waterfall it down over to Baynock, who just can't quite find it. Pengu able to push that one away, and now he's going to try and follow it down. Cosmo Buster pass over to Baynock, centers it in front of the net. Ducky, though, able to push that one away, and right now Boise State's had a couple of chances, but Ducky, he has literally been the MVP for UC Riverside right now.
Yeah, he just is everywhere on the field, offense and defense. We saw him make that great bump play earlier, and he's still making the plays on defense as well. He's just everywhere on the field wherever UC Riverside needs him to be.
We see Pengu going to score that one, and what happened here, Wade? I mean, this felt like a Boise State game for the first 2 minutes.
I don't know. It's just like UC Riverside, they just saw something, maybe saw some sort of mistake that Boise State was constantly making on offense, and now suddenly they're taking advantage of it perfectly, and they're just applying the pressure, running away with this lead.
So you see Ducky's going to win off the kickoff. Ball goes over Ace Pocket. He's going to put it right on net off the crossbar. Pengu couldn't quite center that one, and now Pink Juice going to get demoed. Baynock going to try and follow that one, but there is Ducky once again, able to clear it away. He's got 2 goals and 4 shots right now. I'm surprised he does not have any saves because he has been absolutely incredible. So you see Pink Juice trying to chase that one down. Cosbuster plays it around 1. Can he get the follow-up? It's an open net opportunity for a brief moment, and with 30 seconds left, we'll see if Boise State can at least get a consolation goal here in game number 1.
Right, I mean, I wouldn't say this game is over yet, but I mean, with that transition onto offense for UC Riverside, it is looking bleak for Boise State. They're going to have to score right off the bat here and get a kickoff goal. And considering they're on their own half on defense, I don't think it's going to happen at this point, but they will give it a shot here as the clock counts down.
15 seconds. There's Ducky once again, going to play his own rebound, and my goodness, that's a hat trick for him. And he has been a huge reason why UC Riverside is going to take game 1.
I mean, this double tap was just so clean. Like, the way he moved his card to rotate it around and finish it off with the nose, like, at the end there, like, everything was just so perfect about that play from Ducky, and that he really seems to be the catalyst for UC Riverside.
See right off the kickoff, probably not much Boise State could do here. Maybe they can find a way to find the back of the net. They have not done it since early in this game when they had a 2-0 lead. There's Pengu, though. He's going to clear it all the way down into the corner. Ball will touch the ground, and that is going to be UC Riverside picking up game number 1. And Ducky might need to change that sad face to a happy face there, Wade, because he was, I mean, there's no reason to be sad on the performance we saw from game 1.
I mean, yeah, he just really, I wouldn't even say carried, but he really was the MVP of that game. You know, he couldn't have done it without his teammates. We saw them setting him up. Not that he didn't have any solo plays, but he popped off like when he was working with his team or solo and everything. So he was just doing everything that he needed to do. Yeah,
3 goals, 5 shots, 4 saves for Ducky. I mean, really, he was the catalyst when they were down 2-0. He scored the first 2 goals to tie it up, and then when Boise State was trying to rally, he was the one making save after save after save. Maybe we see Boise State target him down with some of these demos because it really feels like he is the catalyst why UC Riverside was able to come back in this game. He is both their offensive and defensive sort of anchor, and he does a really good job. So maybe you take him out of the play and you try and capitalize on what Pink Juice and Pengu are trying to do while he's responding.
Yeah, exactly. That's what it takes a lot of the time. You need to demo on rotation, disrupt those rotations. Because, I mean, again, he couldn't have done it without his team. A lot of those plays that he popped off from some double tap or some crazy solo play, that originated from some transition on the offense that was caused by one of his teammates. So if you demo on rotation, even if you're not demoing the guy who's making it happen, sometimes that can in turn result in him not being able to set up those plays.
So we'll see if Boise State Blue can try and find a way to flip the script. As we mentioned, they have been on a small losing streak in NACE coming into this, including being knocked out of the playoffs. And it was a great start there to game 1 as Ace Pocket off the kickoff nearly mirrors game 1 with an early goal. But a great job there by who else but Ducky, able to slow that one down. And now Baynock's going to try and dribble it up. Looks like Pengu's going to be doing a good job of disrupting that one. And Ace Pocket in the corner. There's Ducky once again. He's going to get a demo onto Cosmo Buster. Unfortunately for UC Riverside, no one was ready for the follow-up.
Man, that demo from rotation on Ducky, that's exactly what we were talking about that we wanted to see from Boise State, but it seems like UC Riverside is using that exact strategy against them. As we saw Ducky, he went on the back wall and got a demo there. Like, those are so difficult to do, but when you open them up, like, and your team's ready for it, they can create some huge opportunities.
See Pangarino in the corner there. There's Ducky to steal it away from Cosmo Buster, but Ace Pocket keeps it away from Pengu, and now right in front of the net, Pink Juice can't quite capitalize. And Boise State's going to hold on once again. Ducky's there, but all he can do is push the ball in front of the net. He's now trapped in the Broncos' goal. We'll see if they can capitalize. There's Pangarino going to challenge Baynock near midfield. Ace Pocket going to try and clear it out, but Ducky once again just getting in those passing lanes.
And Boise State just needs to connect on defense. You know, that's what it takes a lot of time to get it out. Those just solid, normal clears of just trying to bang it back down to the blue half, those aren't going to work against a team like this that's so good at keeping on pressure. You have to pass to your teammates and get some sort of redirect clear downfield in order to transition.
Baynock trying to keep it away from Ducky, but he's not able to. Ace Pocket in the corner, going to try and volleyball it off the ground. Puzzle Buster! Oh, what a save by Pink Juice, but the first signs of life we've seen from Boise State. Baynock can't disrupt Ducky. He'll play it around another one as well. Cosmobuster, last line of defense, does a great job challenging it. And down on to Pangarino. Near midfield by Baynock should open things up for Boise State. Ace Pocket going to play it off the wall, but no one there. And now Ducky might have an opportunity, but Cosmobuster doing a really solid job shutting down Ducky's attack there as the last man back.
Yeah, Boise State, even though they're on offense here, like there's a point right there where they've kind of just sent away possession without a reason. Fortunately, it didn't really cost them, but a lot of the time, especially when you do that at midfield or on defense, that can just it can create opportunities for the other team that they didn't even have to work for, which obviously that's not what you want. You want to give them as least opportunities as possible, and if you're giving them, like you're setting it up for them, then that can just be even worse.
Nice pass from Cosmobuster Baynock into the left corner of UC Riverside. Cosmobuster wants to follow up. Pengarino able to clear that one down. Does look like Baynock's waiting. He'll volleyball it right back into the corner. No one can quite find it off the wall for Boise State. Off the ceiling, though, Ace Pocket's there.
There we go.
That shot goes high. Double commit by UC Riverside, and Cosmobuster's shot saved by Ducky. The Broncos can't punish, but Ace Pocket wants to pass it over to Baynock. Nice save there by Ducky.
There we go.
Pass back to Cosmobuster. Popped up in the air, but no one in the Bronco rotation. Another double commit comes out from UC Riverside. Can the Broncos punish? The answer, unfortunately, is no.
Yeah, see, that's exactly what I was talking about right there. What Ducky did, that he had a teammate pass it up to him, and he just redirected it onto offense so they could transition pretty cleanly. And you see it's giving them a decent amount of breathing room here, as we see another one right there that's passing out mid on defense and having another teammate follow it up. They're doing it perfectly. That's what we want to see more from Boise State.
Ducky's going to pop that one over a charging Baynock. No goals here so far, and we're nearly 3.5 minutes down. Pengarino has a great opportunity, but he can't quite find possession of the ball. Baynock tries to pop it up over Ducky. He'll challenge him in midair, but a nice win on the 50-50 by Ducky. Ace Pocket will knock him off the ball. Nice knock by Baynock, but unfortunately Cosmobuster just missed. Pass over to Ace Pocket. Down in the corner to Cosmobuster, intercepted. Pengarino has no boost and can't quite challenge on this ball, so Boise State's going to be able to keep it away from him. Ace Pocket over to Baynock, but a good job there by Pink Juice getting in that passing lane, and Boise State can't quite find a shot on net.
I mean, with UC Riverside with such low boost right here, you have to starve them. You can't give them any extra boost. You have to maybe grab some pads on rotation outs to keep them from getting as much boost as possible. But I mean, at this point, it's too late. They had it on their half for a few seconds, which gives them enough breathing room to kind of regroup and grab that boost. But whenever you're on offense for so long, you do have to think about the demos and the boost as you're rotating out.
Tried to play that back to Cosmobuster, but he's going to wait back there. Ducky has possession. The Broncos have a great opportunity here. Cosmobuster shot up the crossbar. Baynock, can he finish?
Come on.
Yes, he can. And Boise State, with 40 seconds left, finds the first goal of game number 2.
There we go. There's the passing that we're looking for. We saw, I think it was Ace Pocket over to Cosmo. It just couldn't quite find the net, and then we see Baynock finishing it off. That's what you want to see more from Boise State. That's the passing that we were missing from last week.
Game 1, Boise State had a 2-goal lead, and it all fell apart. We'll see if in the last 40 seconds, UC Riverside can tie things up here. As Ace Pocket going to dribble it near midfield, pops it up over Ducky. He's got Baynock lurking near midfield. He's going to try and pass it back to him, but Ducky reads that one perfectly and is able to clear it all the way down to the Broncos side where Cosmobuster's waiting. Pink Juice, though, puts it down into the corner. Ducky is there. Ace Pocket in the net. Going to disrupt that pass over, and now Boise State's trying to get it clear with 15 seconds left to hold on to game number 2.
Oh, man, that exact play right there. There just needs to be someone pushing up. Even if you're down by 1, you can't just relieve that pressure that easily, because now, all of a sudden, look at this. Ducky's now on offense, and that is as dangerous as it gets, but they managed to hang on. That's 2 goal line saves, 1 off the post, 1 off the defender, and Boise State manages to stay alive in the final seconds of game 2.
Oh my goodness, we saw it just flash in front of us. Ducky did a great job setting up his teammates, and as you mentioned, Wade, a crossbar save and then a goal line save, I think by Ace Pocket, in the final seconds of Game 2 to even this series up at 1 aside, and I have to think that Game 2 is probably going to be what we see a lot in this series, which is what we saw last week in PlayVS. It was a 1-goal game for Boise State and their opponent, the blue team that was, the entire series. I'm guessing we're going to see maybe 1-0, 2-1 here for the rest of the series, because these teams feel incredibly close, and both teams feel like they can't get much going offensively.
Exactly, yeah. It seemed like whenever someone got on offense, it was a combination of the defense just playing so good, positioning, rotating correctly, but also it seemed like the offenses were just like a little bit scared to push in too far, because I guess the first game was just such a high-scoring game, and especially Boise State, you know, when you have a lead like that, maybe they're trying to play a little bit more passive so they wouldn't get scored on by too many counterattacks.
This is Boise State Blue versus UC Riverside. First game of the night here on a Rocket League Wednesday with Fish and Waitin in the PlayVS Invitational, with the regular season winding down. I believe both Boise State Blue and Orange hovering around that 6-3 mark. At least that's where we left them off last Wednesday when they played a couple of games. We'll be curious to see if Boise State Blue can just remain ahead. I know going into last week, Boise State Blue in the top 20. They did lose. They probably have fallen out of that. We'll see if they can get one back here against UC Riverside. Game number 3 kicking off in a 1-1 series. An ace pocket right off the kickoff. Nearly finds the back of the net. Baynock finds the crossbar. Cosmobuster, last shot, but a nice save by Pangarino. And Boise State almost takes an early lead here.
Yeah, even though those shots didn't quite find their way in the net, they've still got a ton of pressure. We're already seeing UC Riverside low on boost. Hopefully Baynock can grab some pads on the way out, maybe starve the defense as he tries to go for a bump and force them to dodge him. But unfortunately here for Boise State, it looks like it's going to be heading down to their half, and UC Riverside is going to be able to regroup a little bit here and grab some boost and get their rotations flowing again.
Nice job by Cosbuster, challenging Ducky, allowed Ace Pocket to carry that one down. Baynock tries to put it in front of the net, but a great recovery there by Pink Juice, and he's going to play it up over Cosmobuster. We see Ace Pocket does just hang around near midfield, pops it away. Ducky's going to push it into the corner, but Baynock's there. We get a demolition off screen onto Cosmobuster. Ace Pocket can't quite play it off the crossbar. And Pangarino gets the first goal of game number 3.
Yeah, that's just a slight missed touch on the goal line. You can't let that happen if you want to take any risks. You see Ace Pocket there, just not quite reading the speed of the ball, how it was going to bounce off the wall there, and it's going to bite him. UC Riverside striking first.
A great demolition onto Cosmobuster, taking him out of the play. He's been so solid defensively, as we see right off the kickoff. Ducky's going to put it on net. Ace Pocket going to pass that one over to Cosmobuster, who banks it down into the corner. Pangarino will pop it up and away from him, and then center it toward midfield, where he doesn't have a teammate as Ducky goes charging over. Can't play it off the wall, neither can Ace Pocket. But Baynock's there. Can he play it around 2? He gets it around 1 before Pangarino able to stop that one. Pass over. Nice touch there by Baynock. Unfortunately for him, there's several members in front of the UC Riverside goal, and they'll be able to push that one away.
Yeah, suddenly all 3 players in that same corner there for UC Riverside. That's not really what you want to see from them, but they do manage to hang on here. It's looking a little bit scary, though. The rotations seem to be, it's almost like they're getting a little bit desperate for clears here as soon as they're on defense for a little bit.
And we saw a handful of double commits by the Highlanders that Boise State couldn't quite punish in game number 2. See if they can find one here. That shot's above the net. Cosmobuster going to clear it down. Demolition onto Baynock and Ducky simultaneously. Excuse me, and Pangarino's just going to carry that one in.
Yeah, that was just a really nice catch from Pangarino, and we see him, just off the wall, above Ace Pocket, as the defense just can't quite, they just can't quite read what's going on. That was just really good control from Pengu.
Yeah, I mean, Baynock kind of did what we were talking about. He took Ducky out of the play. Unfortunately, he also got himself taken out of the play, so it was just a 2v2. And as you mentioned, nice catch there by Pangarino, able to carry that one in. So the Broncos now down 2-0. They were up 2-0 in game 1 and blew that one. We'll see if they can flip the script on UC Riverside, as Ducky is going to pass that one back all the way down to his own side, grab his own boost in the corner, and maybe now carry this one across midfield. But a nice challenge by Ace Pocket, push it away from him.
Man, Ducky, again, it's just the control. When he wants to do something with the ball, he's going to do it without any problem. He knows exactly how to move his car. He knows what he's capable of doing mechanically with the ball, and he's using that to his advantage right now, and that's really why UC Riverside is being so effective on offense.
Halfway through game number 3, series tied at 1 aside here in the PlayVS regular season Invitational. The Broncos blue team trying to get back in this to avoid going to match point. Is Pangarino, the hero of this game. He's got both goals for UC Riverside. Carries that one into the corner. Pink Juice going to challenge Cosmobuster near midfield, but Ace Pocket prevents Ducky from doing anything with the ball. He has been a huge catalyst for UC Riverside as well. Pangarino stops that one. Ducky's going to tee it up off of him, but Cosmobuster can play that one perfectly. He's got Baynock in the wings, but a double commit again for UC Riverside pans out.
Yeah, it's those double commits are only bad if you don't get a clear on them. Unfortunately for UC Riverside, Ducky was able to get a huge monster clear there, so they are going to get the breathing room, get those rotations in flow again. From Boise State, they're running out of time to make something happen here.
Ducky steals that boost away, tries to set something up for Pink Juice, but that shot goes wide of the net. Baynock there, going to play it off the wall. Stalls it out a little bit, decides nobody's challenging him. Now Pangarino's going to pressure him, so will Pink Juice. He'll steal that one away, pop it up on net. Cosmobuster is there, though, and now Ducky's going to recenter it. Good job by Baynock, pushing it away from his own net. He's got Ace Pocket there. He's got Cosmobuster sitting in the mid. He'll pop it up off the wall. Doesn't look like anyone from Boise State wants to really challenge it, and Ducky just clears it right back down. And now he wants to carry it in on net, but what a save by Cosmobuster to keep Boise State's chances barely alive.
Man, I was just about to say, as you mentioned, Boise State, they just kind of waited for the UC Riverside to take control of the ball and bring it to them, but we saw them almost pay for it immediately with instant karma there, as we saw Ducky carrying it through the air. You don't want to give him space. You want to cut it off as fast as possible, and hopefully Boise State is going to learn from that play. They're not going to let that close call happen again.
Shot on net by Baynock. It's in!
There it is. Baynock connect. I mean, that's just a little bit of an overcommit from UC Riverside as Baynock just bangs it right downfield. Nobody really pushing him. Nobody all the way back on defense. That's a huge misplay from UC Riverside.
Gives Boise State an opportunity here to try and tie up game number 3 in the final 45 seconds and forces to an overtime. Ducky, though, clearly wins the kickoff, but Cosmobuster takes a shot on that. Pengarino has to make a last-second save to keep UC Riverside in front, but Boise State still has pressure. Baynock spikes it down off the ground. Ace Pocket tries to follow that one up. A double commit comes out from UC Riverside, but Ducky's able to win that one and gets the demolition onto Baynock, so Boise State has to reset here in the final 25 seconds.
Yeah, they are going to be back huddled up in their own net as a rare mistouch from Ducky there. It looks like he just ran out of boost. He is going to get a demo to give his defense some time, but he's going to get some instant karma from Baynock, getting him from behind there. Boise State on offense on the defensive half as a huge miss from Pengu might have been better for them. No, it doesn't look like it, but Cosmobuster starting a dribble, and they're going to tie it up with 1 second left. That is as close as it gets. Cosmo, look at this control. He brings it to the left, fakes it beneath one. A little bit of a misrotation from Pink Juice there, and it bites them. Boise State tied it up with 1 second left, and it looks like we're going to be heading into overtime.
My goodness, Boise State coming to play here. The kickoff's still alive. If Baynock can put it in,
oh my
he
God.
was so close to ending it in regulation, but we'll go to overtime. My goodness, Boise State in the final 50 seconds have overcome a 2-0 deficit to bring it to overtime and nearly won in the last second of regulation. Right now, though, they've got to be careful. Early into overtime, Ducky tries to play something off the wall there. He can't quite find it. Ace Pocket, though, can't get to Pink Juice. That ball gets cleared down into the corner. Baynock pushes it away from his own net, and a nice demolition onto Pengarino allowed Boise State with an opportunity here as Baynock juking out Ducky, but will lose control of the ball.
Oh man, a little bit tense there on defense for a moment, but they do transition as we see Ducky racing back. He's not going to get back in time as Cosmobuster sneaks one in at the front post.
Yeah, great job by Baynock. He got that demolition onto Pink Juice, and that opened things up for Cosmobuster. We talked about it, Waiting. UC Riverside had they put 3 men in the goal strategy, and it usually paid off. But when you get a demolition, it opens up the rotations.
Right, exactly. I mean, we just saw Riverside. It seemed like they just fell apart there. They had the lead in their hands. They had the win right there until 1 second left, where they kind of panicked a little bit, probably stopped communicating since there was only a second left on the clock, and that came back to bite them. We saw Boise State take advantage, and they do take the win in overtime.
I just can't believe how close Baynock came to ending that game in regulation as well. As we take a look at some of the highlights. This is from game number 1, where Boise State, unfortunately, was the team that blew a 2-0 lead. So maybe waiting in game 4, if you score first, you don't want to score a second goal because 2-0 leads have not been safe in this series.
Right. That really seems to be what it is. Like whoever scores, whoever has that early, like comfortable lead, it's not going to be comfortable in a few minutes here, as we saw in those first 2 games. So, I mean, but still, I'm happy to see such great performance from Boise State. They did manage to come back. They didn't count themselves out until the game was done, and it really helped them out through this game here.
As we see here, Boise State. That was a huge save by Cosmobuster. Yeah. If that goes in, it's game over. And really, Ducky has been so fantastic. But as we talked about, there were a couple of times he whiffed, especially late in game number 3, that allowed Boise State to capitalize. We see here, it was a 2-0 game with 50 seconds left, and UC Riverside had possession on Boise State's side of the field.
Exactly, yeah, and that's you don't want to. I think that was a double commit from Riverside there on offense, and that's exactly what you don't want. You're leaving one guy back on defense, most likely going to be in no man's land because you're expecting at least somebody to hit the ball, but when no one hits it, that's when plays like these happen, and Baynock took advantage of it perfectly. He saw exactly what happened there above the backboard on offense for Riverside. He just banged it right downfield. Of course, there's that 1 second goal to tie it up. Man, that is just... That's why Rocket League is so great. Just those close games right there to tie it up and send it into overtime. And even just like this play instantly after as well, where they almost, Baynock almost redirecting that in to end it in regulation. Like that would have been one of the most unexpected endings to any series we've seen here.
Yeah, that would have just been spectacular, but good news for Boise State. It did not matter, did not bite them in the end, as they were victorious 30 seconds into that overtime to go up in the series 2-1. This is Boise State Blue versus UC Riverside. First game of the night in play versus Rocket League Invitational. Regular season winding down for Blue and Orange. I'm sure we'll see a handful of both of them tonight on this Rocket League Wednesday. Fish and waiting here on the call in the empty Game Pants Esports Arenas. We're still trying to wait for the all clear to get the cowbells ringing and everybody everybody back in here cheering on their Boise State squads. But for now, they'll just be remaining at the confines of their house with limited people here. We are going to join Game 4 in progress as the players were ready to go. And we see right away UC Riverside, much like in Game 3, with an early lead here, 1-0. But Boise State threatening. Is Pangarino going to do a great job challenging Baynock? Shot on goal and another double commit for UC Riverside. But as you mentioned, if they can't punish it, it's not a bad play.
Right, yeah, Boise State, I mean, they do keep offensive pressure here until that missed touch from Baynock. Not able to reach it quite just yet, but Cosmo Buster, fortunately, is going to be back there. So Boise State should be able to transition pretty cleanly onto offense here as Cosmo Buster starts to run out of boost.
See there, Ace Pocket can't quite stop that mid-air clear for Pink Juice. Pangarino going to challenge Ace Pocket and Baynock as Ace Pocket pops it up in the air. Ducky should corral that one. He will near midfield, play it off the wall. Pink Juice going to miss on that one. Pangarino, whoa, I don't know where he was going, and UC Riverside just throws away a possession.
That was so weird. It was that weird positioning rotation sort of thing where he goes up on the offense, and then Cosmo Buster immediately after just like missed a seemingly easy dribble play. But Boise State, they barely flipped out of the way there. I think that was Ace Pocket in front of net there. It seemed like he was in the right spot, could have made the save. He just tried to guess. Yeah, flips out of the way at the last moment before he could make that save. Unfortunate for Boise State, but UC Riverside, again, they get that 2-0 lead, but then, I mean, I can't say that they had the advantage here even, because we saw the previous games, whoever had the lead by 2, they ended up losing it.
And we've seen both squads blow a pair of 2-0 leads. Boise State in Game 1, and Baynock, he wants to answer back right away. Ducky does challenge it, and Pink Juice pushes out of the way of a charging Ace Pocket.
There we go.
Recenters to Baynock, but a great job getting in the passing lane there by Pink Juice. He will get demoed, though, for the troubles he caused, and now Ace Pocket has an opportunity. Pink Juice, though, has respawned. Boise State maintaining possession here on offense. Pangarino going to challenge that one up in the corner and deaden it, but Baynock's got an opportunity. That one's going to go just high and wide, and Boise State can't find the back of the net there.
Man, I mean, I was just about to say that passing play that we saw earlier from Ace Pocket over to Baynock, that was so good. Those are so hard to read on defense. When we saw Pink Juice, he cut it off just fine. He got that little pre-jump, got the dunk on Baynock, and it was able to, it gave them a little bit of time to grab some boost and regroup with. And on a play like that from such a great infield passing play, that's not usually something you see. So Boise State, the passing plays may not be effective in this game as they were previously.
An opportunity for Boise State, minute and a half gone by in game number 4, but Ducky, that time he's going to score, and that's a 3-0 lead.
Yeah, this goal just seemed to happen out of nowhere. Like Ace Pocket, he had control, just slight mistouch. Baynock pushed up a little bit, expecting Ace Pocket to get that touch, and Ducky, he knew that there was an opportunity there, and he took it as he placed it right on net.
Going to be a little bit harder now for Boise State. Now a 3-0 deficit. Good news for the Broncos, though. If they do lose this game, we will go to a game number 5, thanks to their late-game heroics in game 3. But Cosmobuster wants to try to get one back. Ducky will redirect it, but Cosmobuster still sets it up. Great challenge there by Pink Juice. Baynock going to take a shot. That one's wide. Can he get the follow-up spike? Ace Pocket will, and Boise State's got a chance still.
Yeah, they're right back at it with that early offensive pressure off the kickoff, and we see a nice double tap from Baynock there. Puts it across, gets it back mid. Ace Pocket, he's ready for that touch from Baynock. They know each other so well, and they score the goal. And they're bringing it back to a 2-goal lead here. We saw them come back from this situation earlier on in the previous game here, so we'll see if they can do it again.
That was a 2-0 game in game 3 with 47 seconds left when Baynock hit a cross mapper to bring Boise State within 1. So there's still plenty of time for the Broncos, but Ducky wants to put it away. Can't quite find the back of the net, but Pink Juice can, and Boise State, unfortunately, no one in the net there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw, like, I think that's just a little bit of a positioning that's just a mistouch from Ace Pocket. Cosmo Buster was there. He was able to cut it off, but force the offense to do something. Ace Pocket, unfortunately, not able to get his touch there on the wall. And that's all it takes at this high level of play. One minor mistake like that, and UC Riverside is going to pounce on it. As we see Boise State trying to pounce on some mistake from UC Riverside on defense.
Trying to get it back to a 2-goal game is unfortunately Baynock's going to clear it down into his own half. Cosmobuster's there, playing his around Pangarino, but Ducky there to stop that one, but he's opened up a chance for Baynock, but a great double touch there. Ace Pocket rockets one on net, but what a save by Pangarino, and UC Riverside's defense has been so hard for the Broncos to break in this series, and that probably will do it here, as 3 goals in 20 seconds would be a miracle for Boise State.
Yeah, it seemed like the pressure, as far as the pressure levels, who was on offense and defense for for however long. It seemed like both teams were pretty even in that sense, but the defense from Riverside just seemed to be so much stronger. They were much more comfortable whenever Boise State was setting up those passing plays than Boise State was when they were on defense.
UC Riverside will win that game 4-1. And they will force us to a Game 5 here in our first series of the night on a Rocket League Wednesday. The PlayVS regular season invitational, Boise State Blue taking on UC Riverside. Broncos and Highlanders here. And we're going to a Game 5. And it's really going to be interesting to me because it feels like UC Riverside has been dominating most of the games, but Boise State's found a way to keep them close and then win in the end. And this Game 5 could go really either way.
Yeah, I mean, it's really hard to say. Boise State, they had the series lead, but all of a sudden, UC Riverside, they came alive. It was even just like at the second half of that first game in the series. It's hard to tell what UC Riverside we're going to see in a given moment. You know, sometimes we see like just uncharacteristic miss from one of them, and then other times we see them connecting on some passing plays or Ducky getting some clean double tap or air dribble to establish that offensive pressure. And it's really hard to tell like what team is going to come out on top here because they both can pop off at any moment.
Yeah, Boise State has won the closer games of the series, a 1-0 game in Game 2, and then a 3-2 overtime win in Game 3. Meanwhile, UC Riverside had a 5-2 win and a 4-1 win. So if the Highlanders can start scoring goals early, I've got to think it favors them because, I mean, their defense has been, I wouldn't say clean because it's double and triple commits in goal, but it's worked for them, and Boise State hasn't found a way to punish, so it's been really hard for the Broncos to crack.
Right, yeah, they're only double committing on those ones where, well, I wouldn't say only, but most of the time, they're double committing on those ones where it seems like a clear is almost guaranteed, even if two people go for it. So it's not really as risky because you're going to be getting a clear anyway. But, of course, it is better to not double commit. As we see here, it seems like almost nobody's committing for Boise State because they had almost two people back in net. As we see Pink Juice, it seemed like he was threatening to go for a bump there, but ended up getting a touch instead as Cosmo Buster, yeah, he was trying to go around him and still make the save, couldn't get it in time. And Riverside, once again, getting an early lead here.
Yeah, Pink Juice has found a great time to come alive in the series. All 4 of his goals have come in the last 2 games when UC Riverside has needed them most. We'll see if Boise State can answer here. Baynock tries to clear it down. He does get his mid boost taken away from him, so he will have to bail on the ball. Ace Pocket can't quite spike it off to recenter it, and Pangarino going to shoot it down on net. Baynock is there, but Pink Juice with a nice intercept hits the crossbar, and Boise State remains alive. Pass over to Cosmo Buster. Ducky will redirect it in the corner, get the full boost, bail on the ball. He's waiting for Ace Pocket. A little bit of a stare down there. Ace Pocket challenges him, but a nice save by Ducky. Now Pangarino can clear it down.
Yeah, these transitions to offense always, like they really often result in really fancy goals here, as we see from Pink Juice. He's trying to get some sort of weird backboard goal there, jumping off the backboard and putting it in, but it's not going to work out this time as Boise State transitions back. And these transitions are really seem to be the most deadly for both teams. You know, as soon as you transition, usually these goals are being scored before the defense can regroup and get those rotations in flow.
See Ducky in the corner, and we did get a demolition onto Pangarino and a misplay by Ducky, and Baynock makes him pay for trying to be a little bit too patient.
Yeah, that demo just opens up the goal, and we see Baynock playing it patient at first, and then like waits for his moment, takes advantage of that moment on the open net, and Pink Juice, he's going to be punished there for rotating through the play.
1-1 game here, Game 5 of the PlayVS Invitational, Boise State Blue and UC Riverside. As you see Boise State off the kickoff, going to run into each other, but clear it away. Ducky, though, puts a shot on the net. Ace Pocket, he's going to push it away. Ducky does get a demolition onto Cosbusters. The Broncos have got to be careful. Pangarino going to try and put it on net. Couple of whiffs across the board, but no one able to find that ball. And Boise State will just barely hold on to this tie game, but Ducky wants to give UC Riverside the lead. Demolition onto Ace Pocket. And that was a perfect play by Pink Juice.
Yeah, that was just a great demo, great dunk from Ducky, an unfortunate missed touch from Cosmo Buster there. He was pre-jumping at first, and Ace Pocket couldn't rotate back in time since of course he was blown up there. And UC Riverside striking back. They answer quickly to Boise State's tie-up, and they're going to try and hold on to the lead this time.
And using the demos to their advantage right off the kickoff. Ducky going to try and take a shot. Pangarino comes flying in, but all he can do is redirect it and demo Baynock. Unfortunately, he will pass it back, so that will kill all of the respawn time. And Ace Pocket nearly teardrops that one in a 1v3. Cosmoster wants to keep it up. Baynock's there, can't spike it off the wall, and Ducky will clear it away from him on his second effort. Nice challenge by Cosmobuster. Dunks away from Pangarino. Recenter! No. But Boise State can't quite find it. Ducky tries to pass it down. Baynock shot on net. Stopped there by Pink Juice.
Get that.
Ace Pocket wants to try and play it off the back wall. Gets demoed. Cosmobuster off the top crossbar. Baynock can't quite find it. And Boise State, 4 great chances. Unfortunately, none of them find net.
Wow, somehow Riverside was staying calm there. They weren't really double committing when it would have punished them, and they were working so well together. As we see a very close call from Baynock redirecting that off his own back wall to make that save. Very nice from him. But I mean, the plays from Boise State, it's not like they're weak or anything. It's just Riverside is doing a really good job at reading them.
Riverside's defense has been so incredible. Baynock tries to carry that one on net. Pangarino pushes it away from Ace Pocket, who was waiting. Cosmobuster plays it off the wall, but it's just a bit high. And a double tap by Ducky's able to keep it away. Ace Pocket keeps the play alive, though. Pangarino tries to play it around Baynock. A nice bump there by Ducky's going to open Pangarino to dribble that one all the way down, despite no boost, onto the Boise State half until Cosmobuster challenges him, and Ace Pocket wants to clear it down. Ducky can't quite find the ball for now. He'll pop it up in the air and keep it away from Baynock.
Man, Boise State, they're in control of where the ball is located generally on the field, but they're not in control of opening up those opportunities because of how good this defense is from Riverside. I feel like it really comes down to demoing on rotation, since the only goal they've scored this game has been from a demo on net, and I think that's what it comes down to breaking down this defense.
Ace Pocket with his own rebound! Hey, who needs a team when you can just play your own rebound?
Yeah, and I mean, there we go. That's just Ace Pocket making a nice play. And again, there's Cosmobuster. He didn't get a demo, but he was rotating through, threatening to, and that's what caused that double commit from Riverside. And Boise State took advantage. And again, it really comes down to those bumps and demos. Even if you don't connect and even touch one of the defenders, you're forcing them to jump and panic a little bit.
Yeah, even if you get the O layout, as we talked about in Doc's keys to the game, you're still getting a defender off the ground, and you're taking them out of the play. As we see Boise State wants to capitalize. Cosmobuster shot off the top crossbar. Ducky, though, is there. No boost. Able to clear that one away. Baynock going to challenge Pangarino, and Boise State still in control here. Baynock can't quite play it off the wall, and that's going to open up for Pink Juice with 1 minute left to get it near midfield. Cosmobuster wants to keep it alive. Ace Pocket waiting for the long clear. He's going to get demoed, and now Boise State's got to be careful.
Yeah, they're on defense all of a sudden, but Cosmobuster, that's a very nice clear, controlled. He's not sending it completely all the way to Riverside, but he's forcing them to work for it and them to come to it and work on their own. As we see, oh man, that's just a missed bump on rotation, it looked like. A slight mispositioning in net, and also I think that was Baynock trying to rotate back. Yeah, wasn't quite able to reach Pengu on that rotation back to go for a bumper demo, and Riverside, they just take advantage of that. No one up for that ball in front of the net, and they get the lead back once again with 41 seconds, but it is not over at all for Boise State.
It actually might be, as Ducky off the kickoff. He just played that one off the wall perfectly. He's had a couple of close calls, and this time it just goes in.
Yeah, I mean, that's just a missed kickoff from Boise State. I feel like we rarely see those, but they're probably talking about that previous play, what they could have done better. They didn't communicate on the kickoff, or maybe just some sort of mechanical play. But regardless, that's not what you want to see from Boise State. But what you do want to see is a good pass back like that from Ace Pocket back over to the last defender.
We'll get demoed, though, so Boise State has to be careful here. Great opportunity for Boise State if Baynock can redirect it. He can't quite find the angle. And Boise State might not have one here. Ace Pocket's last attempt goes wide, and the Broncos with a near open net almost had a chance to bring this into a 1-goal game, but can't quite find it. 10 seconds left. The Broncos going to need a goal ASAP. A nice clear there from Ducky. Probably going to end any hopes of a Broncos comeback here as the time ticks down. And Boise State, the effort was incredible, Waiting, but it was just a couple of misplays. And as you've talked about, these high-level games, it's just whatever team makes the least amount of mistakes. And also, it really helps when you have a guy like Ducky who is able to do incredible things off the kickoff.
Right, yeah, those transitions, especially on the kickoff, as you mentioned. You just had a nice, solid kickoff, took advantage of Boise State not really having much of a solid kickoff, and that's really what it came down to. Boise State made more mistakes than UC Riverside, especially with that solid defense that Riverside had. They weren't making a lot of mistakes there, but yeah, again, that's what it came down to, and they just played more solid than Boise State today.
See, the ICCU player of the game going to go to Cosmobuster, who was really incredible for Boise State, especially on the defensive end. You really could notice when he got demoed, Boise State last defender wasn't as solid at times. So a huge congratulations to Cosmobuster. I'm sure, though, it's just a small consolation because I'm sure he would have loved to win this series because Boise State played oh so well against another incredibly tough opponent.
Yeah, they really did play great. I mean, Riverside is no team to take lightly, and I don't think Boise State did. It's just they got outplayed today, but I think if we were to play them another day, this could go a completely different direction.
Yeah, once again, Boise State, these series have been oh so close, as we mentioned last week in PlayVS. It was 4 straight one-goal games. The Broncos just couldn't come out on top, and this time you see Riverside with a huge shout-out to Ducky, who, despite that goal not going in, and a great save by Cosmobuster, part of the reason he was the ICCU player of the game. Ducky was a huge reason why Boise State just could not find a way to keep UC Riverside from trailing, because every time they had a great shot, Ducky would just clear it down and immediately open up offensive pressure.
Exactly. Yeah, again, those transitions, especially with that air dribble carry that we saw earlier as they put it onto offense. Cosmobuster was forced to make an incredible save, and the fact that he was even forced to work for it was just the credit to Ducky for making him work for it and carrying it all the way from his own half.
So congratulations to Cosmobuster. He's our ICCU player of the game. ICCU, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like they're helping their members achieve financial success. Cosmobuster, as we see there, he had the game winner in game number 3 and the game tire with 1 second left. Yeah. Is your ICCU player of the game. Unfortunately, Boise State Blue will fall to UC Riverside 3-2 in this best of 5 as the Highlanders able to win games 4 and 5. So we'll move on to the next game for Boise State on the Rocket League Wednesday. We've got 4 games tonight waiting. We've got 3 left, and we're hoping Boise State can finish the night out strong with a 3-1 overall record.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I'm not going to count them out yet. It's not even like they played bad in that series. They're still playing good. I guess it comes down to we know how good they're playing. They're playing pretty solid. I guess we'll have to see how their opponents are today.
Curious to see who the Broncos' next opponent is going to be, because right now Boise State, they have the 2 teams that we mentioned, Blue and Orange, both with similar records in PlayVS. Unfortunately, Blue on a bit of a cold streak now. Have not seen them win on stream in a little while, and we are going to transition. Looks like this is going to be Boise State versus the University of Washington. Be curious to see if this is the Orange or the Blue squad for Boise State. It's going to be Boise State Blue once again here. Wait until we'll see if against the Huskies this time, Boise State Blue can come out victorious, because, I mean, they have been oh so close, and I'm sure they're just waiting, because, I mean, this is a team that we're used to. They're going to win. We queued up Boise State Blue. They're going to win. We know they're going to win, and right now that hasn't been the case. I'm sure they want to change their misfortunes.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean, coming off a loss like that, especially with being so close, you got to bounce back. You can't let that affect your mentality, so hopefully we'll see them bounce back, coming out firing and get some early leads here in these next few games.
PlayVS Rocket League Invitational regular season winding down. We've got 3 more matches tonight, and then we will have that wrapped up here. And we'll see how the Broncos do and if they are able to make it into the playoffs. Well, before we get into the Boise State Blue versus University of Washington game, we'll take a quick break. We'll show you the top 5 plays from that last series. We'll come right back, see if Boise State Blue can stop the losing streak after these top 5 plays. That game. Away from his own net, Baynock going to try and take a shot from midfield. Ducky intercepts it, but Cosmobuster right there actually misses the ball, and Ducky's going to make this a 2-1 game.
Wow, that was just an incredible play there from, I believe, yeah, I think that was Ducky. He flicks it up and then bumps Cosmo out of the way.
State's trying to get it clear with 15 seconds left to hold on to game number 2.
Oh, man, that exact play right there. There just needs to be someone pushing up. Even if you're down by 1, you can't just relieve that pressure that easily, because now, all of a sudden, look at this. Ducky's now on offense, and that is as dangerous as it gets, but they managed to hang on. That's 2 goal line saves. Carrying it through the air, you don't want to give him space. You want to cut it off as fast as possible, and hopefully Boise State is going to learn from that play. They're not going to let that close call happen again.
Shot on net by Baynock. It's in!
There it is. Baynock connect. I mean, that's just a little bit of an overcommit from UC Riverside as Baynock just bangs it right downfield. Nobody really pushing him. Nobody all the way back on defense.
Back, Ducky will redirect it, but Cosmobuster still sets it up. Great challenge there by Pink Juice. Baynock going to take a shot. That one's wide. Can he get the follow-up spike? Ace pocket will, and Boise State's got a chance still.
Yeah, they're right back at it with that early offensive pressure off the kickoff, and we see a nice double tap from Baynock there. Puts it across, gets it back mid, ace pocket. He's ready for that touch from Baynock. They're not in control of opening up those opportunities because of how good this defense is from Riverside. I feel like you have to, it really comes down to demoing on rotation, since the only goal they've scored this game has been from a demo on net. And I think that's what it comes down to breaking down this defense.
Ace pocket with his own rebound. Hey, who needs a team when you can just play your own rebound?
Yeah, and I mean,
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Welcome back into the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We continue along here on our Rocket League Wednesday, keeping with the Boise State Blue team. Going to see if they can snap their losing streak here against the University of Washington. Fish and waiting here on the call. We just saw Boise State Blue drop a heartbreaker in 5 games to UC Riverside, with the Highlanders coming back from a 2-1 series deficit to take control and win the series. So we'll see if the crew of Baynock, Cosbuster, and Ace Pocket can stop the losing streak here against the University of Washington and find a way to most likely end tonight for them on a high note, as I'm guessing the last 2 games are for Orange Squad. But right now, waiting, it feels like Boise State Blue, this is not something against them. They're playing really good teams, probably a little bit stronger competition than we saw at the start of the season. And there's just, as you've talked about, it's just 1 or 2 extra mistakes they're making over the opposing team that's really sort of dooming them in the end.
Yeah, again, like the offense, it seems like they did a pretty good job adapting to it, considering that the passing plays weren't really working out. They were being cut off by Riverside. But it seemed like they did a pretty good job adapting to using those demos and bumps more on rotation, at least by the end of the series. But it really came down to the defense. A lot of just mechanical mistakes on defense, whether it be on the walls or a double commit or something like that. It was mainly the walls, especially. Like Ace Pocket seemed to be struggling with those a little bit. So we'll see if he bounces back on there. Maybe did a little bit of training like that in between the games. So hopefully he can do better here in this second game.
See here, Doc's keys to the game: play fast, maintain side control, confident callouts, and allay those demos, as you talked about, Wade. And a huge reason why UC Riverside had so many goals is they get a demo and then immediately put it in the back of the net in the 3-on-2 situation. It is all brought to you by Count, whose Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and a personalized customer experience for one of the 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. Thanks to their award-winning AI, they're helping you stay safe online, especially during the holiday season when you're doing all of that online shopping. If you want more information, go check them out at count.com, KOUNT.com for more information. That's the other thing is, we've talked about it in the past when Boise State's really rolling, Wade, it's Baynock who's getting those demos onto the other team, and it feels like maybe he's just delaying them and he's at least taking it out of the play. I feel like we haven't seen as many Baynock demolitions in these last couple series where Boise State has been taking the losses.
Right, yeah. I mean, he did get a few, and for those few that he went for, it seemed like a good amount of them resulted in goals, but he definitely wasn't going for them as much as we've seen him in previous weeks, so hopefully we can see him pull that together in this second series here today.
Kick things off. Game 1 just kicking off here, so you're going to see VXY get a demolition onto Baynock right as we start off there, so no Olay for him. Comsbuster going to pop it up around Toby, and great job by VXY. Able to challenge him, though. He'll pass it over to the alphabet soup that is the University of Washington Rocket League team, but Comsbuster with a great save there, and Ace Pocket clears it down into the corner.
And Wizard here, he's already, you can tell he has good control there. Holding power slide on the wall to not just kill all his momentum there at that one play on the backboard. but they do it overall as a team. University of Washington is looking pretty strong here. I think we haven't seen them since last season, or at least a decent bit ago. But overall, they're looking pretty good so far, and looking pretty evenly matched for Boise State. They seem to have a somewhat similar play style so far.
See Toby clear that one over. Ace Pocket intercepts it. VXY, though, able to get that one. Cleared all the way down. Wizard chasing Cosmo Buster in the corner. He'll try and play that one off the ceiling. Reads it perfectly. Sets it up for Toby, who shot on net. Stopped by Ace Pocket. Baynock was chilling there as well, so might have been able to make the save. So VXY wants to clear it down, but Baynock with a great dunk over him. Going to at least alleviate some pressure, but Ace Pocket can't quite find the ball.
Yeah, again, it just... wow. I think we saw one of those redirects from Boise State in the previous series, except it was on the opponent's net. Now it's on his own right off the crossbar. Fortunately, it doesn't find its way in his own goal, but again, that is a pretty close call looking that he wasn't quite able to reach it.
Another demolition onto Ace Pocket, and Boise State has not done a great job of allaying them, but who needs another member? That's what we see all the time. Baynock and Cosmo Buster combining for a goal.
Yeah, the classic infield passing play from Baynock over to Cosmo. He pops it up high in the air. Cosmo finishing it off with that power shot. Again, we saw one of those early on in last series. Hopefully they can keep up this momentum this time.
Boise State, talked about it before. UC Riverside game 1, they had a 2-0 lead and blew it. Ace Pocket tries to put that second goal in. Can't quite find it. Great job there by VXY to clear it down, and he nearly just evens it up by himself. But Cosmo at the last second redirects the ball right in front of his own net, but VXY can't find it. Ace Pocket might have had something to do with that one as well. He doesn't have any boost, so Wizards able to beat him into the corner. But Cosmo keeps it away from him. The Broncos looking for a clear, but they've done a great job stifling any attempts Washington had.
Yeah, I mean, there were a couple somewhat close opportunities, but they seemed to fend them off pretty well until this moment right here. I'm not sure exactly what happened there on rotation. I think the last man back, yeah, just a double commit at midfield there. They didn't really know that they were beside each other as they were pushing out, and that's going to cost them as Washington scores on that mistake from Boise State.
Tie game here at 1-aside. Boise State's been playing in a ton of close games recently in PlayVS, at least the blue squad has. As Cosmo Buster thought he had a great shot, couldn't quite find it. We did see Baynock bump into people around in the net, but not going to result in anything. Ace Pocket going to play that one off the wall, but Toby is there. Baynock shot, going to try and play it off the crossbar, and Cosmo Buster there as well, but a great job by VXY to be able to push that one away, and Ace Pocket just barely bumps it out of his reach.
Yeah, again, that's a little bit of too much clutter that I'm comfortable with from Boise State at the midfield there. I'd like to see more communication there, maybe spreading out a little bit, cover more ground, but not spreading out too much to where you're opening up opportunities, as we see Washington not closing on this opportunity for Boise State. See another great pass from the Ace Pocket this time over to Cosmo Buster at the midfield. Cosmo is just 2 for 2 on those shots like that tonight.
And this is when the blue team is rolling, when they can get not only Baynock and Cosmo Buster, but when Ace Pocket can get in on the passing game. And we've seen a lot of teams get in those passing lanes, which is something you've always talked about, Wayton. And now Washington might have to adapt to that, because we've seen 2 passing goals for the Broncos. Toby, though, going to try and set that one up. VXY barely misses. Boise State fully commits on it. Going to allow Wizard in the corner to regain possession. Toby, nice challenge there by Baynock. He comes racing down. Cosmo Buster going to bump VXY off the ball, but Toby does a great job just barely reconnecting it, and nice job intercepting that pass from Ace Pocket.
Yeah, I'm seeing too many double commits and triple commits here from Boise State, but fortunately Washington doesn't seem to be doing that good of a job taking advantage of them, as we see Boise State taking advantage of this mistake from Washington. Again, VXY up for that one. Wizard kind of rotating through the play, and then Toby's not able to push that at any moment there. And Cosmo Buster just slides right in. And I believe that's his 3rd goal of the game.
Yeah, already a hat trick for him. Great job by Baynock pulling 2 members off of the ball. As you mentioned, VXY and Toby just couldn't get back in on the play. And Boise State now with a 3-1 lead here with 3.5 minutes gone by in game number 1. Baynock trying to put this one away, just barely hits off the crossbar. Toby makes a great save. Cosmo Buster pops it up in the air. Wizards able to corral it. A great challenge there by Ace Pocket to stop that. Unfortunately, the ball's going to careem off the back wall and allow VYX to clear it all the way down. So Boise State will still have to retreat, but Cosmo Buster plays it around 1 and 2, but Wizards there to stop him from doing anything else.
Yeah, again, it's just a lot of 50-50s at midfield. That's what you want to do. You want to take those 50-50s at midfield. You don't really have to work when you have a lead like this. You don't really have to work hard to keep it on the opponent's side or prevent any goals from being on your half, considering you've been doing just fine of that throughout this game so far. So you want to take those 50-50s. You don't want to try getting risks. You don't want to take too many risks by trying to clear it above the defenders and then possibly having them dunk you and put it right back to your half. So it's a really smart job from Boise State so far to take those 50-50s at midfield and maintain this lead that they've already built up.
Saved there by Cosbuster. Baynock's going to pass it over to Cosmo. He's going to recenter it. Ace Pocket not quite able to corral it, but it does a great job hanging near midfield. Pops it off the wall. Baynock's going to pass back to Cosbuster, and 30 seconds left. And Boise State's victory coming closer and closer to being assured. Huge save there by Ace Pocket out of nowhere. Looked like University of Washington had given up on that ball. Nearly just kind of rolled in the back of the net. Baynock going to just take a nice shot on net, and Boise State's put this game away.
Yeah, great job from Baynock there. He could have placed it up high, but he saw the last defender. He was all alone, and he was forced to jump to dodge that demo from Cosmo on rotation. There's the demos that we're talking about. They're using them a little bit there, and we see Baynock take advantage of that perfectly. 3-goal lead, 11 seconds left. Safe to say Boise State has taken this game, but I mean, I wouldn't take Washington lightly. They definitely did play pretty good if they can avoid some more double commits and miscommunications.
So you see time tick down. Wizard with a shot on goal, but Boise State's not going to give up even though their victory is assured. And now Baynock might be able to carry this down, plays it around VXY, who pops it up in the air. Baynock nearly had a style goal to end it, but Boise State will be victorious here in game number 1, 4-1. And not only is it nice to see Boise State win, it's nice to see them win by a comfortable margin, Wade, because we've been talking about it's been a lot of one-goal games. They only won their 2 games against UC Riverside by 1 goal apiece. So it is incredibly nice to see them win as we see Doc over there on the Tetris machine. The high score competition between myself and Captain Star, I believe, has eluded him. So he's going to try and, now that we're in broadcast, he's like, hey, you guys take care of the broadcast. I got to catch up to the high score.
Yeah, he's going to get at some point. He's training all day, every day, as you can tell. So, yeah, always fun time here at the arena.
Yeah, he is. He's the only one who has the access card in, so I'm sure it would not shock me if he maybe sneaks in every once in a while. He has recovered. Thought he maybe made a couple of misplays, but he's going to be able to just clear once away. You see 23. Oh no. What was that? You had a wide. Seen that a lot from Boise State Blue. Wide open net, just couldn't find the back of it, Wade. And now you got to wonder how they can recover here. So I thought he was assured to get 24 lines. I believe the high score is 65 lines. And Doc, pretty far away from that, but he should have an opportunity. Okay, he has recovered once again, much like we've seen Boise State Blue do. So he should be able to recover here and come away with a respectable score.
Yeah, I mean, it is really I don't really know how to transition from that to this next game, but we're going to go into game 2 in here. Boise State, they had a pretty strong game 1, pretty dominant, but Washington, if they can narrow down this mistake, they're going to give Boise State a run for their money, so we'll see if they can continue on this streak here.
See a nice clear down from Ace Pocket. Baynock in perfect position. He literally, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Wayne, he read where the defender was going to clear the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have an option. He was just right there waiting for it. Wizard's just like, okay, if I don't hit this, Baynock's going to have it. If I do hit this, Baynock's still going to have it, so I don't really know what to do here. And he ends up hitting it, and what do you know? Baynock does have it. He finishes that off. At that point, you've just got to prevent that play from happening in the first place.
Once again, a lead for Boise State, but a great rebound here from Toby in Washington right off the kickoff. We've seen that kind of haunt Boise State Blue here, so kickoff goals here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, this dunk here from Wizard was just so perfect. Spikes it downwards, and he was so close to the wall that Cosmo couldn't react to it, especially with how much power he put on it. That was so good from Wizard to set up Toby on that, and they just connect perfectly. They tie it right back up, bouncing right back here in game 2.
Saw this in game 1. Boise State early lead, an answer back from Toby, and then the Broncos started to pull away as Cosbuster from midfield nearly puts it on net. Wizard going to make a save. Baynock challenges him. Ball's going to cream all the way to the other side of the field as Ace Pocket's going to put it over for Baynock. Tries to get a touch on it, but a great challenge there by VXY, and Cosbuster can't find a follow-up. Ace Pocket hanging around midfield. He'll pass it over to Baynock. Just misses, though. And VXY going to elevate. Try and clear it down to Wizard, who is being double-teamed, so he'll take it himself, but Cosbuster with a nice challenge there. And the Broncos now on defense, but we see a whiff there from Toby. Going to slow down what the Huskies want to do.
Yeah, again, Boise State, they're kind of on their defensive half here, which it's not something we're not used to, but Washington State does seem to be, or University of Washington does seem to be opening up these opportunities a little bit better here in the second game as they take the lead, I believe, for the first time. It's just a great shot from Toby, and we said VXY disrupting the net there, kind of being a nuisance to the defense of Boise State, and it works out. Washington, they're going to take the lead here. We'll see if they can hang on to it.
There's also great demolition on the Cosmo Buster. He had just respawned as that play started, and we nearly see VXY dribble that one home. And great job there playing it off the wall. Wizard, though, will keep it alive for Washington. Cosmo Buster in the corner, going to try and play it around VXY. He can't quite do it. Ace Pocket is there. He'll get bumped off net. Going to open something up for Wizard with a teardrop. Can he follow it up? No. Ace Pocket with a nice recovery after being bumped. Toby wants to keep it alive for the Huskies. Nice pass over to VXY. Nails it off the crossbar. Boise State gets lucky on that one. We'll see if Wizard can do the same thing. Ace Pocket can't read it off the net, and it's a 3-1 Huskies lead.
Yeah, those are just some great passing plays from Washington, and even though this was kind of a solo play from Wizard that they ended up scoring on, those passes really just opened up the defense of Boise State, made them panic a little bit. Communication was probably a little bit off there in those few moments, and that's just all it takes. Washington State, or University of Washington, takes an even bigger lead here, by 2 goals now, which is not something we were even close to seeing in the first game.
No, great response here from the Huskies as Cosmobuster plays that off the wall. Baynock will try and pass it over to Ace Pocket, but a nice intercept there by a member of Washington. But Wizard can't find it off the wall. He's got Toby retreating as well. Play it over Baynock. Double commit for Boise State, but it works out as Ace Pocket clears it down. And a great job by Cosmobuster disrupting that pass to VXY, who's been incredibly annoying for Boise State as Toby's shot nearly rolls in. And right now, we haven't seen Boise State challenge Washington offensively in the last few minutes here. It is right off a kickoff. It's been right on the Broncos side. They have not found a clear.
Yeah, they're just on their heels right now. Boise State just struggling to get it out of their half. You know, we see a few double commits. We saw one a few moments earlier, but fortunately they didn't get punished for it, at least not yet. But Washington doing a really good job of keeping on the pressure as Boise State is just struggling to get it out of their half. But finally, Baynock, he's going to go for a flip reset here to bring it back onto offense.
Yeah, got the demolition as well, so Boise State survives that. Cosmobuster olays that one perfectly to stop Wizard from making it 4-1 here. Boise State still has not found much semblance of offense since the first 15 seconds of the game. Nice predict on the waterfalls. Ace Pocket will push it over to Cosmobuster, but an intercept there by a member of Washington. I believe that was Toby who intercepted that one, and Wizard near midfield takes a shot on net. Boise State pass over to Ace Pocket, but VXY comes challenging in, and Toby will pass it to him off the wall. The redirect a little bit shy of the goal, but it'll force Cosmobuster out, and a great job there by Washington once again, keeping Boise State on their toes.
Yeah, Washington, they're connecting on those passes, but nothing's really coming out of them just yet as we see Baynock. He's going to bring this back on the offense, down only by 1 now after that goal with a minute 40 left on the clock. Baynock, very nice solo play from them after a nice dribble play after a nice pass from Ace Pocket.
Semblance of what we've seen from Boise State in the regular season. When the passing plays are working like we saw in Game 1, it enables Baynock to make those solo plays that we've seen time and time again. And right off the kickoff, Boise State's best opportunity. Ace Pocket recenters it. Baynock chasing it across the field, corrals it, gets demoed though by Wizard. That's going to slow down Boise State's attempt to tie it for now, and they'll have to make a nice save there by Cosmobuster, and he'll pop it up over Toby, who was charging, but another demolition comes out from Wizard. These teams getting very physical with Boise State, and the Broncos right now don't have much of an answer.
Yeah, again, they're just being boxed in on their defense, but when they do break out, it is dangerous for Washington, but unfortunately they aren't breaking out very much. As we see again, they're kind of boxed in on defense, not really working that well as a team as far as finding each other on these passes on their own defensive half, but we'll see if they can connect here in the final few seconds of this match.
Under a minute left, Boise State leads the series 1-0, seeing if they can get to match point here or if Washington can tie us up at 1 aside here. The Huskies holding a 3-2 lead. Wizard trying to pass it out to VXY. It's cleared away. 1 man left. It's just Toby. Unfortunately, Boise State could not follow up Cosmobuster's clear. We see it recentered there. Toby low on boost. Ace Pocket and VYX in the corner. VYX will win that one. Wizard pops it over him. 30 seconds left. Cosmobuster tries to recenter it. Can't quite block Toby's clear. Ace Pocket will go racing over. Demolition onto Toby. Could open up things for Boise State. VXY stops Ace Pocket. And now Cosmobuster can't play it off the wall, and the Broncos starting to run out of time. He'll play it at least away from one member. Toby can't corral it either. So Cosmobuster tries to do it himself, gets the rebound. Baynock puts it in!
Yes!
And with 7 seconds left, Baynock off the hat trick has tied the game.
Man, they just love to make us like tense to the last moment as Cosmobuster puts it off the backboard. Baynock getting the hat trick. He ties up this game 3-3, 7 seconds left.
Last time Boise State did this, they nearly won it in regulation off the kickoff. We'll see if they can end it here. Ace Pocket will corral it into the corner, and Toby misplays it. Chance for Boise State. You saw Baynock there, and it looks like Huskies going to just ground it and reset.
Overtime again. Boise State, they kind of had a slow start to this game, but they definitely have the momentum now with this comeback here in this game, as that nice pass is cut off from VXY. They're starting to read those. Boise State probably going to have to be getting a little bit more creative on those passes if they're going to open up that defense.
Cosmo Buster tried to get it over to Baynock, who was charging on net. Just missed him. And now Boise State has to reset. Ball's to Kareem right in front of the net. Great job by Cosmo Buster to clear it away over Toby. Play it off the wall. Wizard is there. He'll pass it over to Toby. Ooh. Right off the crossbar. Boise State survives. VXY wants to try and get it to Wizard. Shot, but Cosmo Buster makes the save. VXY tries as well. And Toby doesn't have enough boost to follow it up. Can Baynock end the game right here with his 4th goal? He'll play it off the wall, and Wizard's able to intercept that one and dribble it away from Ace Pocket. Now he has a great opportunity, but Ace Pocket challenges him, does just enough to change the trajectory of that ball and allow Boise State to survive.
And there's been a few opportunities here for Washington. If they just had a little bit better placement on these passes and shots, and they probably could have scored here already, but Boise State, they're going to be alive here for a few more moments and a few more attacks as they bring this onto offense and try to connect on these passes.
Pocket tried to pass it over to Baynock, couldn't quite find it. Wizard's going to corral it in the corner. He's got Cosmo Buster waiting. He'll do enough to push it away and stop down the dribble. Baynock now going to clear it over. Cosmo Buster below him, but VXY going to find that one. But Baynock reads it perfectly. Cosmo Buster has a great chance here. He'll shoot from midfield. No, the crossbar stopped him. It was a wide open net. And Boise State had a great chance to end it there, but they've got to reset as Wizard clears it out in the corner. But there's Baynock with that demolition onto Toby to slow down the Huskies.
And that was just another opportunity. Both teams, they have had opportunities, especially that was a huge one for Cosmo. Unfortunately, I don't think he realized it was open. He thought he was going to have to double tap it, and he failed that, unfortunately. And now they're going to be back on their defense. It's going to be Washington that opens up this on the defense as the VXY sneaks this one near post from a great pass by Wizard.
Yeah, great job by Wizard setting him up. You could see he was going on net if anyone for Boise State wanted to challenge it. And 2 minutes into overtime, the University of Washington will even out the series with a 4-3 win. But once again, Boise State, it's not a recipe for success, Waiting, but if I guess you can keep digging yourself out of these 2-goal holes, you don't have to be too worried. But I don't think that's what either player or any of the players on the Rocket League team for Boise State want to see is, hey, we're down 3-1. We can still come back, but you don't want to have to do that game and game and game.
Right, yeah. It'd be nice to get the lead early on and just play a little bit safe for the rest of the match. And that's what we saw in Game 1. They had that lead, and then they just kind of they slowed down a little bit and took those 50s at midfield, as we saw, especially towards later of the game. But this game, it seemed like they were working from behind every time. And even though they did end up coming back from behind, they had to force it into overtime, and it just seemed like they couldn't keep that momentum going before their opponents could just bounce back and bring that momentum going the other direction.
We will basically shorten the series down now to a best of 3 with the teams splitting games 1 and 2. So Boise State Blue taking on the University of Washington here, play versus Invitational, regular season Rocket League action. The blue team right now on a mini losing streak. I believe 2 games that we've seen on stream at least. They've lost both of the most recent ones in play versus. They've also lost their last 2 in NACE. So they're trying to flip their fortunes. University of Washington came out strong in game 2, Waiting, and now I'm really curious to see game 3 who sets the tone, because against UC Riverside, Boise State won Game 3 and then couldn't find the series winner. So I'll be really curious here after what we saw from Washington if they're able to strike first here in game number 3, because the Broncos have scored first in all 3 games at Baynock. He does it again.
That's a good sign from Boise State. Just a great kickoff. We see Ace Pocket. He does the kill at the midfield. He's always so good at those with the way he flips into the ball. And Baynock, he has so much trust in Ace to do that. He puts it right on net. They get the early lead here in game 3. That's a great sign.
See what they want to do off the kickoff here. Last 2 games, Washington has immediately found a goal back to tie it at 1 aside. And they might have a great chance here. Wizard off the top crossbar with VXY, the hero in game 2. Can't find the back of the net, but now he can.
Wow.
As Boise State's defense, unfortunately, didn't shore up.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure what happened here. It just seemed like a little bit of a mistouch from Ace Pocket. Dude couldn't get it quite the best pass over to Baynock, and it was cut off pretty easy from Toby. VXY was kind of cherry picking upfield there, was able to finish that off. And again, it's like the game never started.
Baynock, he wants to try and actually make his goal matter. Nearly finds the back of the net, but it's just wide, and Toby's able to clear it away, but he struggles with it in the corner, allows Ace Pocket to recenter it. He's got Cosmobuster charging in. He'll play that one off the corner perfectly. Baynock couldn't quite find it, but neither could Wizard, and that's going to allow Ace Pocket to challenge VXY for it. Ball pops up towards near midfield, then Cosmobuster barely keeps it alive and away from Wizard. 3 members of the Huskies all sitting right next to it. Baynock tries to take advantage. His shot just goes wide. Ace Pocket plays it off the ceiling perfect to Cosmobuster.
Oh.
He's going to bounce it off the back wall. No one in rotation, and Boise State's got to retreat and make sure they don't get scored on.
Yeah, I mean, again, the opportunities are there. They're not quite making them happen, but it's not to count them out completely because the defense from Washington is doing pretty well. Both teams seem to have pretty similar play styles, as I mentioned earlier on in the first game. But I guess it's just coming down to who plays it best, as we see that infield pass almost connecting, but Baynock says, nah, I know exactly how those infield passes work inside and out, and he reads that perfectly right in front of net.
Ace Pocket, nice dunk over Toby to stop the potential go-ahead goal here. VXY has been the hero for Washington, takes a shot and goes around the net, and Wizards allowed to maintain possession here. Can't quite aerial dribble it in front of net. Great challenge by Baynock, who has been on fire in these last couple games, and Cosmos are going to clear it down into the corner. Toby makes a nice save, but Ace Pocket disrupts it. Unfortunately, shot's not strong enough, and there's no punish for Boise State.
Again, another opportunity. If there was just some more power on that, probably could have opened that up and found a way to sneak that in the goal, but again, like they're making mistakes. Both teams are making mistakes, but they're not large enough mistakes to capitalize on completely every single time. So we'll see if who's going to make more mistakes, more larger mistakes here in the rest of this match.
Toby can't quite find it, loses his dribble, opens it up for Cosbuster, out of boost, but he'll steal the bottom one in the corner. And now Ace Pocket has a great opportunity. Oh, just hit the crossbar. Wizard couldn't find the ball, and Boise State misses a great chance. Baynock flying in. Toby makes a great save. And Boise State's going to have to reset here. Ace Pocket charging over, does to prevent Wizard from clearing it, but Toby will. He's got Wizard on the center, but Baynock with a huge save over VXY. Wizard trying to reset it, but Baynock's going to try and clear it away. Toby can't quite steal it away from him. He'll recenter it, though, for VXY, who might have a teammate down in the corner. He'll pop it up over 1, but Cosmobuster there making a great save. The game once again remains tied at 1 as Boise State clears it down.
And Baynock is just the defensive savior for Boise State right now. These passing plays from Washington are being executed perfectly, but Baynock is just so good at reading these. He's done them so many times on offense that he's so used to reading. He knows exactly what the offense is going to do when he's on defense, so he's reading them perfectly, cutting them off before they can get completely started. And it seems that that's what it's going to take from Washington is solo plays, since those passing plays don't really work out. He has an opportunity to make that pass center, but instead he takes it all on his own. And Boise State is not able to read that sequence of touches from Toby.
Yeah, and a great job there redirecting it as Ace Pocket challenged the first shot, and Toby had enough boost to recenter it and put it off the other post and stop Ace Pocket from being there. As we see now, it's a 2-1 game. Demolition does come out, but Ace Pocket has a great opportunity, and he ties it up right away. Boise State off the kickoffs have been strong at points tonight.
Yeah, those kickoff goals, that's what it takes. And we see Cosmobuster, he was going for that final touch. I'm not sure if he missed it on purpose, but regardless, that was a great play. Probably better that he missed it. Whether it was a fake or not, and Ace Pocket was perfectly ready for it. Finishes that off, and the momentum is back in Boise State's favor.
2-2 game here, game number 3. Series tied at 1 aside with a minute and a half left. As Toby now, he's going to immediately get it back. Once again, you talked about it. It's going to take huge solo plays, and Toby once again finds the back of the net.
Yeah, they're realizing that. Look at this control. He goes right, and then left on the cut to finish that off on the last defender. Ace Pocket, unfortunately, can't get back in time to disrupt it, make it easy for the last defender on defense for Boise State. So that's going to be another lead again for Washington University.
We see there. Good job off the kickoff by Toby. They'll double commit on the ball, and once again, Washington off the kickoff has not been strong defensively as Wizards able to just clear it away from his own net. Toby can't stop Baynock from getting to the ball, and Baynock's going to recenter it to Cosmobuster. That time, the pass, though, is intercepted. Ace Pocket will go retreating back, plays it around Toby. Intentional or not, it ended up working out, and Boise State's able to clear it down. Minute left. Toby keeps it alive near midfield. Baynock's got Ace Pocket down there. He's also got Cosmobuster, but Wizard just barely redirects the ball. VXY now in possession. Minute left. The Broncos need a goal. He'll take a shot down. Baynock going to pinch that one off near the back wall there and stop it for now as they are so close. Wizard nearly hits it home. VXY trying to do what he can with no boost. Now Wizard can retreat, and Boise State can't quite get him off the ball, but Ace Pocket Huge shout out to Baynock. He forced Wizard in the air, and that allowed it for Ace Pocket to tie this game.
Yeah, great job from Baynock. He forces him to jump and dodge it. And look at him. He just threads the needle between the two defenders, placing that perfectly, and he finds his way in the net. Tie game once again. We'll see if they can continue the momentum this time, as the last two times they scored, Washington was able to get that lead back pretty quickly.
And Toby with the last 2 goals for Washington. We'll see if he can make it happen once again. 30 seconds left. Winner here goes to match point in this best of 5 in the PlayVS Invitational. Right now, Boise State's on the defensive side. Toby gonna take another shot, but that one just misses. Wizard was trying to clear out the net, and he nearly did it. Wizard's gonna retain possession, but Ace Pocket will challenge him. He is low on boost. There's not much he can do but play with it down in the corner, and Cosmobuster clears it away. Toby also low on boost. Does get a shot above net, can't quite waterfall it down. 10 seconds left. It'd be the Broncos' turn to just happily go to overtime here and reset the ball, but Ace Pocket might have an opportunity. 3 seconds left, 2-1. Can they keep it off the ground? VXY clears it away. Cosmobuster reads it perfectly. Limited boost right now for the University of Washington. It'll be VXY gets that one, but it'll touch the ground, and we're heading to overtime once again.
Boise State has had the kickoff advantage in the past going into these overtimes, as we see them establishing that pressure, but Toby's going to play that smartly to the side, as far away from any Boise State player as possible. And that's going to cause them to bring it back onto the Boise State half, but not before Cosmobuster transitions quickly onto offense, and Baynock with the final finisher of Game 3. And they're going to take it in overtime this time. Different story from what we saw in Game 2.
Same result, 4-3 overtime win. This time, as you mentioned, Wayton, it is a Boise State victory. And once again, the Cosmobuster and Baynock connection has felt at times like it is midseason form in this game as those two connect for the game-winning goal. So Boise State now goes to match point, something we saw against UC Riverside, and the Highlanders were able to rally and win the next 2 to end up winning the series. So we'll see if Boise State Blue can close it out this time. Because for University of Washington, after Game 1, has definitely made this a series, especially Toby. And as you mentioned, Wayne, Baynock, Boise State, they know how to read these infield passes. It's going to take solo plays, and Toby's been up to the challenge so far for the University of Washington.
Yeah, especially in that final game that we just saw. He was everywhere. They started off doing a little bit of passing plays, saw that Baynock was just doing really well on reading those, and they made that mid-game adjustment to letting Toby just go for those solo plays, connecting just on his own with those like left-right dribbles, and Boise State was having a much harder time reading those.
See some replays here from earlier in the series. Game 1 was all the Cosmobusters show, had a hat trick and all 3 goals for Boise State. And then ever since then, Baynock has absolutely taken over. He had a hat trick of his own in Game 2 and then scored the game winner in Game 3 as well. And that is when Boise State Blue is really at their strongest, when it's Cosmobuster and Baynock scoring all the goals, and it's just Ace Pocket not only setting them up, but having a couple of goals of himself when the team is maybe looking for where Cosmobuster and Baynock are.
Yeah, exactly. We saw that the last defender there in that particular play on Washington was just trying to find out where exactly that ball was going to be bouncing from Cosmobuster. He purposely placed it over on the left side of net, and it just barely out of the reach of the Washington defender. And Boise State was able to finish that off the backboard. So it's just really smart plays from Boise State overall, placing it purposely not on net, making it easy saves for Washington at first, kind of baiting them in to go for that original save when it wasn't directly on net, and then Boise State finishes it off. They used that strategy a lot throughout this game, and it definitely worked out in their favor.
Yeah, all 3 members of Boise State have had incredible goals. We've seen Baynock, he tied the game in the final seconds of Game 2, had the game winner in Game 3, but it would have not been the case if Ace Pocket didn't score 2 huge goals, including the one we just saw there from midfield, with a huge credit to Baynock knocking Wizard off the ball. So we'll head into Game 4. We saw this situation before against UC Riverside, and Boise State could not close out the series. We'll see if they can do it here off the kickoff. Cosmobuster can't find it off the wall, but Baynock's able to ricochet it down into the corner. Toby will clear it away. Baynock challenges him, can't quite find it, but a double commit from the University of Washington. Wizards the only man back, and he intercepts a great play. Ace Pocket almost had a free goal there, but Washington barely hanging on here in the early minutes.
Yeah, again, Boise State, they established that early pressure. They seem to have the kickoff advantage against Washington. Can't really say the same against Riverside. It seemed like Riverside was dominating the kickoffs in the last series. But Boise State, they're going to turn this early pressure into another goal here. And then once again, just like in Game 1, or the previous game, Game 3, they're going to have the early lead. But again, it's hard to say who has the momentum here, because it seems like Washington likes to respond quickly when Boise State scores early.
And Boise State, maybe Baynock gets a demo onto Toby. He is usually the man getting the demos for Boise State because Toby's the man who's been bringing Washington back. But right now, Boise State wants to find a second goal. VXY is going to stop in front of net. There's a demolition from Ace Pocket, and that's going to open things up for Baynock. He's going to slow play it, tries to drop it over Toby, but he challenges him and forces a mistake there from Boise State. And now, Baynock, there's a demo onto Wizard. And right now, Boise State taking a play out of their opponent's playbook. Getting those demos early. Baynock from Cosmo Buster. The demo goes out, but Boise State has an opportunity. Ace Pocket shot turned away by Wizard at the last second.
Yeah, it was a great read from Wizard there, positioning at the front post. He knew Ace Pocket, that was the only spot that he could have placed it at, and he saved it perfectly. Clearing it, not just a save, but also putting it out to the side to where it can't be an easy follow-up for Boise State. As we see, Wizard now trying to rotate for some sort of bumper demo on offense. Unfortunately, the last defender for Boise State is able to manage that. He notices it early and worked his way around it.
Great job by Ace Pocket dodging that. Gets a demolition onto Toby, but the shot still goes off, and Baynock's able to clear that one away. Cosmobuster pops it up over VXY, over to Ace Pocket, but Toby, once again, has been doing a great job keeping Washington in it. Nice setup there from Wizard, but VXY at the last second going to bail on the ball. Didn't have the angle he wanted, and Boise State's going to remain alive. Toby in the corner, spikes it off the wall, and a nice job there by VXY to set up in front of net, but Baynock there once again to clear it away for Boise State. But Wizard still has a chance here. Pass over to Toby, double touch, but it's going to go off the top crossbar. The Broncos clear this one down to midfield.
Yeah, now it seems like Washington is starting to incorporate both passing plays and solo plays, making it even harder for Boise State to read either one when they happen, since they're not using all of just one and making it easy for Boise State to predict. They have to guess which one is it going to be. Is it going to be a solo play? Is it going to be a passing play? Then by the time they predict that, a lot of the time it's going to be too late, depending on how fast they execute it. So great job from Washington so far on offense, but unfortunately, they aren't able to connect enough and put it on to get the placement just good enough to open up an opportunity and take advantage of it yet. So Boise State, great job on defense. Let's see if they can keep it up here for the rest of this match, as they don't have to score at all yet. But an insurance goal would be nice.
Yeah, an insurance goal would be nice, despite the lack of faith that we've had tonight in teams holding 2-0 lead so far. Wade, and Boise State, I'm sure, would take it. They nearly have one there as Toby pitches it right next to the crossbar. Wizard clearing it down. VXY can't get to it. A nice challenge there by Baynock to set something up, because Cosmobuster tries to find it. Baynock puts a shot on net, but it's cleared away by Toby. And now the Broncos have to retreat. Ace Pocket going to do a great job challenging him in the corner. Wizard ball goes over, and VXY shot high once again. Can Toby find the follow-up? No!
Wow.
Cosmobuster from the back of the net makes the save. Wizard maintains possession, but Boise State once again, with a big shout out to the crossbar, remains in the lead as time's ticking down now on the Huskies.
Wow, man, so many close calls. Again, that's another opportunity. Washington probably could have scored if they just had the better placement, but unfortunately they were not able to get it. And Boise State was able to fend that off to keep it out of their net. And they're going to transition on to offense here off of a nice pre-jump from Cosmo. Unfortunately, almost able to fit that in, but it's going to hit off the crossbar, and Washington trying to take advantage of them and catch them off guard as they transition onto offense.
Crossbar takes no sides as it's stolen a couple away from Washington and Boise State here in Game 4. The Broncos, though, on match point, leading the series 2-1. Minute left here. Just a one-goal game. We'll see if the Broncos can add an insurance goal. Cosmobuster and VXY going to collide. Ball will recenter. Wizard passes it back. Ace Pocket going to play that one off the ceiling. Can't quite find it. And Wizard clears it down. Cosmobuster retreating. And Boise State is going to be able to hold on for now as Toby can't quite find a reset.
Yeah, again, the passing plays that Boise State is starting to recognize when it's possible for Washington to get a passing play and when it's not. And when it is, chances are they're going to take it. When it's not, chances are they're going to go for a solo play, since that usually is how these work. As we see here, Wizard, he's probably going to center that off, and we see Ace Pocket cutting it off perfectly as Baynock gets a demo on rotation and makes the transition onto offense as clean as possible, and it works out perfectly. It's that demo from Baynock that really made that opportunity happen and gave Ace Pocket that space that he needed to push it up into that goal box. And Baynock, again, after he gets that demo, finishes it off all on his own. That's a 2-goal lead, 17 seconds left. It's looking tough for Washington, but it's not over yet.
Yeah, anything can happen in Rocket League. A great kickoff would go well for Washington, but a great job by Boise State to stifle that one. They find a third goal. It's probably series over. Nice waterfall.
Yeah.
Ace Pocket, he's ended it. It's game over, but not without a hard-fought effort from Washington.
Yeah, I mean, it was pretty evenly matched until Boise State kind of ran away with this lead towards the end of this game here. But again, Washington, well played throughout this whole series. Boise State just happened to play a little bit better today. But again, if they played again, I bet we'll see them in an even closer series since they have a feel for each other's play styles.
Final seconds left here. See if either team can add a last goal to their tally. Doesn't look like it. Almost put in the back of the net. It will touch the ground, and the Broncos will emerge winners here. So Boise State Blue able to snap their losing streak, taking down the University of Washington 3-1, and really get back to that midseason form we've seen. Waiting a ton of Cosmo Buster and Baynock connections. Baynock with a handful of goals in this one, but Ace Pocket also had huge goals when it mattered. 2 in Game 3 when Boise State was trailing to be able to force overtime, and really all 3 members working together, all 3 members in their comfort zone, and that's why Boise State victorious in this series.
Yeah, definitely. They just played better this series, and I think Washington was probably about just as good as Riverside, but I think Boise State got that little bit of warm-up and took advantage of the mistakes better and tried to adapt to their opponents better. So it was a good job from Boise State Blue overall. They're ending that losing streak, and hopefully they can turn this one into a winning streak.
Yeah, great job by the Broncos Blue squad there. Baynock, Cosmobuster, and Ace Pocket all performing really spectacularly. And it would be a really tough choice for the ICCU player of the game. Baynock had the clear goal advantage.
Yeah.
But Ace Pocket had a couple of huge defensive plays and offensive plays. It's really got to be between those two. No offense to Cosmobuster. He already has one. And after Game 1, his rest of his team kind of helped him carry the load.
Yeah, I'd have to say Baynock. Yeah, definitely. I mean, he had some definitely the goal advantage, as you said, but it was also on defense as well. His ability to read those passing plays that Washington was setting up. And that was really what it came down to in the series a lot of the time, I think, is defending those plays off, because whoever scored early, it seemed like that really set the tone for the rest of the match, even if the other team did respond quickly. But Baynock, since he did stop a lot of those passing plays from that Washington was setting up, it kind of made Washington question, like, do these passing plays even work against this team? Should we try something else? And when you make your opponents question their offensive pressure, that's how you know you're doing a good job.
Baynock is the ICCU player of the game. He was absolutely huge, nearly single-handedly won Game 2 for Boise State, as we see here. Scored the game-tying goal with 7 seconds left for a hat trick. Unfortunately, Washington got the last laugh in that one. And as you mentioned, yeah, not only did he have the goal difference, but he just makes plays sometimes offensively. And when he can make these solo plays, Boise State's usually winning, because he just completely flusters the other team, because it's like, well, who's he going to get the pass from? And he's like, nobody. I'll just do it myself.
Right. Yeah. It's like we talk about the Baynock-Cosmo dynamic duo. Like, they pass so well together, but it's not like they can only pass. They can also do solo plays like that. And when you can do either, it's just that much more effective.
See, Baynock also had the game-winning goal in Game 3 to give Boise State the edge, and he is your ICCU player of the game. So a huge congratulations to Baynock and the rest of Boise State Blue as the ICCU player of the game. Just a consolation prize for the victory, and it's been a little while since they've gotten one, and it's a great job there for them to pull that one off. And Baynock, as we see here, I mean, and once again, though, it's, not always Cosmobuster and Baynock. A lot of times it's Ace Pocket and Baynock setting up each other really well here. So great job by all 3 members, and a huge congratulations to them pulling off the victory here against the University of Washington in the PlayVS Rocket League Invitational.
Yeah, great job again, Boise State Blue. It's looking promising for the future. They seem to be connecting a lot better in this game, doing a little bit better on defense, and just connecting overall. And they end the losing streak, so it was looking a little bit bleak for them, kind of lacking performance, but they definitely bounced back here.
Well, that, I'm going to guess, we'll wrap up our Boise State Blue part of the night, as we still have 2 games left. Have to think we'd give 2 games to the Boise State Orange squad, but that will remain to be seen. You don't want to go anywhere. We've got more Rocket League Wednesday action. We're only halfway through here. We're going to leave you with our top 5 plays for the Broncos win over the University of Washington, and then take a quick break before we see Boise State taking on UT Dallas here in the PlayVS Invitational. So we got the top 5 plays. Good luck, production, figuring out what 5 you want to pick, because the Boise State had a ton of highlight-worthy goals in the Blue squad's victory here. And then we'll come back. We'll see if it's the Blue or the Orange squad taking on UT Dallas after the top 5 plays. A comfortable margin, Wade, because we've been talking about it's been a lot of 1-goal games. They only won their 2 games.
Boise State at the midfield there. I'd like to see more communication there, maybe spreading out a little bit, cover more ground, but not spreading out too much to where you're opening up opportunities, as we see Washington not closing on this opportunity for Boise State. See another great pass from the Ace Pocket this time over to Cosmo Buster at the midfield. Cosmo, if they can narrow down those mistakes, they're going to give Boise State a run for their money, so we'll see if they can continue on this streak here. See a nice clear down from Ace Pocket. Baynock in perfect position.
he literally, I mean, maybe I'm wrong, Wayne, he read where the defender was going to clear the ball.
Yeah, I mean, he didn't really have an option. He was just right there waiting for it. Wizards just like...
From Ace Pocket.
Yeah, I'm seeing too many double commits and triple commits here from Boise State, but fortunately Washington doesn't seem to be doing that good of a job taking advantage of them. As we see, Boise State taking advantage of this mistake from Washington. Again, VXY up for that one. Wizard kind of rotating through the play, and then Toby's not able to push that at any moment there.
Going to pinch that one off near the back wall there and stop it for now as they are so close. Wizard nearly hits it home. VXY trying to do what he can with no boost. Now Wizard can retreat, and Boise State can't quite get him out the ball, but Ace Pocket!
Wow.
Huge shout out to Baynock. He forced Wizard in the air, and that allowed it for Ace Pocket to tie this game.
Yeah, great job from Baynock. But Toby's going to play that smartly to the side, as far away from any Boise State player as possible. And that's going to cause them to bring it back onto the Boise State half, but not before Cosmo Buster transitions quickly onto offense. And Baynock with the final finisher of Game 3. And they're going to take it in overtime this time. Different story from what we saw in Game 2.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Legendary parts for legendary wins.
Growing up in Idaho, we have certain rules we live by. Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. And always buckle up. Seatbelts save lives. That's a rule we can all live by.
Sports Arena. We're wrapped up our Boise State blue portion of the Rocket League Wednesday, and we'll wrap things up here with two games from Boise State Orange in the PlayVS Invitational. The first game for Boise State, a familiar opponent, the University of Texas at Dallas. The Comets and the Broncos going to go off here very soon, Wade. And we've seen from Boise State Orange some really good improvement. They won both their games last week in PlayVS, so unfortunately, Nace didn't go their way. They didn't quite qualify for the playoffs, but they have caught fire at the right time here in the PlayVS Invitational. And we'll see how they do against a very traditionally strong squad in UTD.
Yeah, UT Dallas again. I think last season in NACE they did pretty good. They made it to the like I believe the quarterfinals in the playoffs. But again, it's a whole new set of teams here, and it's a whole new. We're seeing them in play versus this time, not even NACE this time. So we'll see how Boise State Orange can stack up against them, since this is a squad that we did not see play in NACE last season.
Now, I did take a quick look at the standings. Don't know if UTD does have multiple squads, but there is a squad of the Comets sitting at second place overall with a 9-0 record. So if that is the squad, Boise State's Orange going to have their work cut out for them for sure. But, of course, Boise State's got 2 squads in it, so we'll be curious to see if this is UTD, if they have multiple squads in it as well. We get Doc's keys to the game. Play fast, maintain side control, confident callouts, and olay those demos. Usually don't see Orange go for too many demos, unlike Boise State Blue, who has Baynock sort of there as their enforcer. So be curious to see if they're able to dodge the demos that have wreaked havoc on Boise State Blue so far tonight. All brought to you by Count, whose Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and a personalized customer experience. For more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers, their award-winning AI analyzes 32 billion annual interactions to help personalize your user experience. You want to stay safe when you're shopping online during the holiday season. Go check them out at count.com, KOUNT.com. Game 1 of 2 tonight for Boise State Orange here on our Rocket League Wednesday. Kicking things off here shortly against UT Dallas. We've got Fish and Waiting here. We'll see if Boise State can wrap things up with a 3-1 overall record, but against UT Dallas, it's going to be a very tough game for Boise State Orange, who is starting to come into their own. It feels like we've seen this team sort of grow and get better every single week, Waiting, but of course it all starts with Circuit defensively shutting down what teams want to do.
Yeah, especially against a strong team like UT Dallas. Assuming this is their A team that is 9-0, you're definitely going to have to make some saves here. We talked about in the past how sometimes if you're not making saves, that doesn't even necessarily mean that's a bad sign, because it could just mean that you're not on defense at all. But against a team like this, assuming it is their top squad, I think they're definitely going to have to pull out some saves here. So hopefully we can see Circuit pop off in that sense.
So far, we've seen complete control from the Comets as Caden comes flying in. Sholey's able to clear that one away. Alpaca squeeze in the corner. Can't keep it away from Circuit, who centers it over to Thunderama, but a great clear down by Grubo, and now Boise State's got to regroup. Caden's going to miss on that one, but there is Circuit, the man we've talked about in the pre-show, with a great defensive play. Won't get a save, but does enough to give Boise State some breathing room. So Thunderama drop, push Grubo off the ball, but Boise State right now looking for their first shot of the game. 45 seconds gone by as Grubo and Circuit going to collide near midfield.
Yeah, if this is the top UT Dallas team, I assume that they kind of play it slow a little bit at the start to get a feel for their opponents, and then they kind of use that information that they gather during that time, and then they use it like for the rest of the series or for the rest of the first game. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see the speed pick up here throughout the rest of this match.
Sholey going to carry it down into the corner. Tries to play it around. We'll get a bump off the ball, but Thunderama is there. Alpaca squeeze keeps it up on the side of UT Dallas, and he'll maybe try a back pass here to Grubo. He will. And now we see that speed starting to kick in for the Comets. As Caden just barely able to get towards midfield. Alpaca squeeze going to play it off the wall to himself, but Thunderama just gets a clear away, and Boise State holding on defensively, but offensively they have yet to show much against this UTD squad.
Yeah, I'm already seeing a couple missed touches here from UT Dallas. Some on offense, some on defense. It just seems like a little bit of mechanics not really working out. Could be their warm-up, could be warming up a little bit mechanically, but they definitely are connecting on these passes here. As we see a nice pass from Grubo off this corner here, actually off the back wall. Bates and Caden to going for it. And then the final shot from Alpaca squeeze, just squeezing that in the net if that's what you're into, and Thunder can't quite cut off that shot.
Thunder did enough to slow it down, but couldn't quite intercept it. And now UT Dallas with a 1-0 lead. Grubo down to Alpaca squeeze once again, but the crossbar makes a save as Sholey came charging in. No one for Boise State can find the ball until Caden can. Plays it around Grubo nicely in the midfield there. Him and Alpaca squeeze will both whip, and a demolition onto Thunderama, but Sholey not able to corral the ball. There's Alpaca squeeze. He'll keep it away from the front of the net as Caden elevates for it. Thunderama's going to steal it away. Shot on net, turned away by Sholey, and Boise State with their first shot of the game. See if they can hold up the pressure. Grubo, though, has other ideas.
Yeah, it was a pretty valiant effort, decent attempt there. Unfortunately, it was a double commit, so it kind of seemed like that was their only attempt on offense before UT Dallas could break out of their half, at least for a few moments here, as we see Circuit trying to get a shot of his own and Caden keeping on the pressure. That's more what you like to see, a challenge on every single ball that finds its way in the middle of the field there from Boise State, but it is going to get pushed back down to their own half once again.
Grubo going to center it up there. Caden just barely tries to sneak it away from Alpaca squeeze. He'll hit off the crossbar, and Sholey charging in. Can't quite find the back of the net. Grubo's shot just ricochets in. Circuit can't make the save, and the Comets extend their lead.
Man, it seemed like they had someone back in net at almost every point there, but it's just too awkward a position. Yeah, Circuit looked like he was running out of boost there. Probably didn't collect pads on his way back, or missed one of the boosts on his way back, and that's all it takes. Again, a minor mistake, and UT Dallas is gonna take advantage of it.
Off the kickoff, Show Lee nearly tries driving it home. Caden can't quite play it off the wall, but Thunderama can play it away from Grubo. And he'll follow it up onto the corner now and going to try and play it around Alpaca Squeeze. This shot way high, but Alpaca Squeeze is going to prevent any sort of rebound. He'll bump it down, tries to play it around a couple, but a great job there by Caden. Stealing it away, and Thunderama prevents Show Lee from charging in and taking a shot on net. Grubo will recenter it, though, as Alpaca Squeeze comes charging in. Caden makes a great save, and Boise State's defense doing all they can right now, waiting to hold on in this game.
Yeah, I mean, they've been on defense for almost this entire time, but they unfortunately can't hold on the entire time either. And it seems like they're transitioning onto offense, getting a decent time on there, but they're not really taking advantage of the opportunities until this moment right here. But there is going to be a final defender back, a pack of squeeze there. He's going to deny that right on the goal line.
Boise State's offense has come alive here, but the UT Dallas defense has just been nearly unbreakable as they have made save after save with just one man back on net. 1 minute left. See if the Broncos can tie things up here, at least get one goal and maybe challenge the Comets in game number 1. Circuit running out of boost, can't find the back of the net. Thunderama now in the corner, going to play it over Alpaca Squeeze, tries to recenter it. He's got Circuit there, but the ball just goes a little too fast in front of the net, and Boise State can't find an opportunity. Show Lee's going to clear it down. Great job by Caden stopping the ball. Plays it around one there. Thunderama's going to take it. It's a demo onto Circuit, so it's a 2v3 for Boise State. And a great challenge there by Grubo to put it on net, and Circuit has respawned. It's the savior we're used to seeing, but right now Boise State needs shots, not saved, with 30 seconds left.
Yeah, again, they're pushing onto offense. They're getting a decent time on the blue half, but UT Dallas, their defense seems really strong here. They're not really letting things get too out of hand. I haven't seen maybe one or no double commits at all throughout this entire match from UT Dallas. They just seem to be playing really collected, really smart Rocket League. Not really too fancy, but they're doing what it takes to get the win.
2 seconds left. We'll see if Boise State can get that final goal. Alpaca Squeeze is going to have none of that. He'll ground it in, and Boise State going to fall here. But I mean, there's something to indicate that UT Dallas has multiple squads, as you usually see schools, label them blue and orange, maroon and silver, whatever. Boise State orange, I mean, they did a really good job of hanging with Dallas, at least defensively. Offensively, I mean, no one in the net for UT Dallas just missed on a shot. They made save after save after save.
Right, yeah, they seemed really collected. Even there was that one opportunity. I'd say that there was just one opportunity through that whole time from Boise State being on offense, where I think Thunder got a nice power shot, but it was just a pretty routine save there as the rotations were just kind of flowing. They were collected, not really getting caught off guard by anything, and that's really what it came down to. In Boise State, they definitely have to do something else to open up these opportunities.
Well, 2020 has been a tough year, much like Game 1 was a tough one for Boise State's Orange Squad. But Respawn wants to make it better. They partnered up with NACE and eFuse to give away 250 gaming chairs to 18 different collegiate and high school programs. You can submit a video showing how your program would benefit from the Respawn gaming chairs to transform your program. If you want more information, go check them out on Twitter at eFuseOfficial for more information. So we'll see if Boise State can transform game number 1's loss into a game 2 win. This is Boise State Orange taking on UT Dallas, play versus Invitational, and the Comets were 2-0 victors there. And really, as we talked about, Boise State had a couple of decent opportunities, but nothing that Waiton felt made UT Dallas really shake in their boots. We'll see if the Broncos can change the course here right off the kickoff. They'll start with a great win, but Show Lee in perfect position. That ball bounces off the crossbar. Otherwise, it would have been a quick goal for UT Dallas. Grubo can't quite play that one off the wall. Shot turned away there by Caden. Thunderama doing a nice job pinching it off the top of the net and getting it away from his net, but Grubo's going to keep it alive. He'll play it to himself off the wall, set up a teammate. Double commit from Boise State, but it's able to get the ball away from the net once again, and Alpaca Squeeze can't find it. We're starting to see UT Dallas slowly run out of boost here, which should allow Boise State with a nice clear as Show Lee plays that one off the ground. Pass over to Thunderama, intercepted by Grubo. Caden can't get it away either, and UT Dallas not allowing Boise State Orange to breathe at all as Show Lee's going to clear it across, and finally Circuit finds the clear until Grubo stops that.
I mean, UT Dallas, they're just playing really good, solid Rocket League. It doesn't really seem like they're dominating Boise State as much, but at least as much as it seems, but with crazy passing plays or fancy mechanical plays. But the fact that they're playing just great solid Rocket League is making it so difficult to for Boise State to adapt against, because usually when you're trying to adapt, you're trying to exploit some sort of mistake that the other team is usually making, or it's something that they repeatedly try on offense or defense to relieve that pressure or establish the pressure against the other team. But considering UT Dallas is just playing good, simple Rocket League like as they do here, just trying to force Boise State to make mistakes, it's really hard for Boise State to adapt to, and you just, at some point, you just have to not make any mistakes on defense, as you see Thunder kind of getting caught up on the back wall there.
Alpaca squeeze with the first goal of game number 2. He had Sholey, really the best player in a position to make a save. Unfortunately, he is on the blue team, so he had no intention of saving that one. Off the kickoff, Boise State does a nice job winning that one. Caden and Alpaca squeeze in the corner. Caden will clear it back. Unfortunately, there's no one there. There is Thunderama finally able to save Boise State from what could have been a near disaster. Sholey corrals it in the corner. Circuit can play himself off the wall. What a goal by Circuit.
That was just a great play. Circuit finding the first goal for Boise State in this series here in Game 2. That's just a great bump from Caden. They couldn't quite recover to challenge Circuit off that corner. And that's just a perfect setup. Places it off the corner to where the defense, they can't reach it. They're not going to leave the net to block that off in the corner. He takes advantage of it, finishes that off with a nice double tap. And Boise State, they score for the first time in this series.
Great job there by Circuit. Talked about him defensively, but as we talked about, not always the saves that you need to be making. It's the goals you need to score. Thunderama clears that one away, at least towards midfield, where Sholey will corral it. Double commit from Boise State. Caden and Circuit both come flying off the ball. That's going to open up a chance for Grubo. He'll play it off the back wall. There's Alpaca Squeeze, who hits the crossbar, but Sholey does just enough to give UT Dallas the lead once again.
Yeah, there's just the standard pressure off the backboard. Alpha Squeeze probably could have, Alpaca Squeeze probably could have finished that off there with just a little bit better placement, but regardless, it was good enough for their final player, the third man on rotation, to finish that off, and they're going to take this lead back once again. And I don't think Boise State, I mean, they're going to have to do something pretty miraculous again, maybe some bump on rotation, but it's hard not to get punished when setting up plays like that, especially against such a solid team like UT Dallas. As Alpaca Squeeze, again, he's going to find another opening on the net.
Boise State, unfortunately, sees Circuit just couldn't quite get back to the ball, and a nice shot over Caden, and Thunderama charging in at the last second, couldn't quite get there in time, and UT Dallas extending the lead once again, and I think you put it perfectly, Wade. They're not doing anything flashy, it's something crazy. It's just good, solid Rocket League from UT Dallas, and an excellent reason why the Comets right now sitting at 9-0 in PlayVS. But Boise State Orange giving a run for their money here. They're going to have to retreat. They can't find the clear. Alpaca Squeeze takes a shot on net. He'll play it to himself off the crossbar. Grubo can't find it. Nice clear there from Circuit, who goes racing down, but Sholey beats him to the ball. He'll play that one off the wall. No, he will not. He can't quite find it. Now play it off the wall to himself. Over to Grubo. That shot's going to go high, and they have the fall from Alpaca Squeeze. No, they do not. Boise State lucks out on that one as both members came charging in, and that ball goes right in front of the net, but Circuit will get demoed for his transgressions.
Yeah, and there we go. I was just about to say, I'd be surprised if that demo right there on rotation doesn't turn into a goal, because it was so clean. He was able to get the demo and rotate out instantly, and Alpaca, his teammate rotating out, allowed him to push up comfortably. He just finds that opening on the net. It's going to be 4-1 now, UT Dallas. Again, just as I mentioned, they really just find the opportunities. They find out what is Boise State lacking, and they take advantage of it perfectly.
Just off the kickoff there, Boise State's going to get one back. Circuit's going to score, and this is something that is really nice to see. As we see that ball just kind of died in the mid, and Circuit was there. A couple weeks ago, Wayton, kickoffs were a disaster for Boise State Orange, and it's really nice to see them improving and getting a kickoff goal against a really talented squad.
Yeah, they've come a long way, especially if you're able to score kickoff goals like that against a team like UT Dallas. You're definitely doing something right, so great job from Boise State to improve on those throughout these weeks.
Two-goal game here, just under 2 minutes left. See if Boise State can get a third one, as Circuit has scored both goals so far in this series for the Broncos. The Thunderama's going to try and pass it over. Caden now in the corner has it. He'll play it around Grubo, but Alpaca Squeeze is there. But Circuit does a nice job stopping the clear. Sholey's turn in the rotation. He'll try and clear it down, and this one will be successful. You got Caden waiting in the corner. Challenges the ball just enough, but not enough to clear it for Boise State, and Grubo is going to put that one home, and it's a 5-2 lead.
Yeah, just again, a textbook play. That's a great solid 50. A lot of the time that those find its way in towards the midfield, and Grubo is ready for it. Finishes that off, power shot right on net, the right side instead of the left side where the defender was at. And it's going to be a 3-goal lead. Once again, UT Dallas is starting to run away with it.
See Thunderama off the kickoff, tries to clear it down, but Alpaca Squeeze will challenge him. Shoali now in the corner. Circuit clears it away from him. Grubo with the follow-up, pinches it off the wall, but Thunderama there reads it perfectly, gets it towards midfield before Alpaca Squeeze hits it down in the corner. Can't quite find it off the wall to himself. That's going to allow Thunderama for a booming clear off the wall. Has his own follow-up. Can't quite find it, though, but Caden is there, and Shoali will challenge him. And Boise State Orange with a nice opportunity here with a minute left to get this back to a 2-goal game and potentially have a chance here at a crazy comeback as Circuit tries to play it off the back corner to himself, but Shoali will corral it. Caden, though, with a nice job demolishing it and stopping the ball. He can't play it off the wall. He will, though, just a little bit, but Grubo's there. Circuit tries to spike it down, and Thunderama waiting near midfield. Challenges Shoali, steals it away from him, and Grubo can't get it around him either. Boise State Orange, some of the best offensive pressure we've seen until Caden misses that ball by inches, and the ball clears all the ways down to the Boise State side. And a demolition, that's a free goal.
Yeah, again, the demolitions, that's really what it comes down to for both teams, it seems, and UT Dallas just knows how to incorporate them better than Boise State ever has, I think. And right there, we see the demo happens, their immediate trust in each other to get that demo, makes the 50 easy. In fact, no one even on the other side for Boise State, and it just turns into an open net because of it.
Comet starting to pull away here in game number 2, but not without an effort from Boise State Orange, who's been within a couple of goals earlier in the game before everything fell apart. 15 seconds left. Not much Boise State Orange can do, but maybe find a feel-good goal here in the end. At least cut the deficit to 6-3, as there are a overall score in play versus. So every goal does count. As Thunderama is going to stop that one from rolling in the back of the net. He'll pass it over to Caden near midfield. Grubo there wants to keep a shot alive. Circuit will play it off the wall to himself. Can't quite find it. Shoali pass over to Grubo, but Caden going to pinch that one off. And nice demolition there from Alpaca Squeeze. And Shoali can't quite find it. So it will be a win for UT Dallas 6-2, and they will go on here to match point. But Boise State Orange definitely getting better chances, at least in game 2, than we saw in game 1.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they didn't even score at all in game 1, but game 2, they tied it up with a nice goal from Circuit, a nice solo play, and then again, it was a nice double tap from the corner. So it's just really good from Boise State all around. Even though they did take this loss, they did lose by more than they did in the first game. It definitely looked more promising, I think, for them because they were creating more opportunities. Just really seemed like they were being more of a threat on offense to UT Dallas than they were in the first game. Because in the first game, it seemed like there was no threat throughout the whole match.
Yeah, Boise State Orange taking on a very strong team. UT Dallas, as we talked about, just continuously one of those top Rocket League squads. We mentioned a quarterfinals appearance last year for them in NACE and a current 9-0 record. And I believe a 20-goal difference for them. I think it was 27-7. And Boise State Orange doing a really good job of at least putting a dent in that goal mark, scoring 2 there in game number 2. We'll see what game 3 has in store. But as we talked about, Wade, it's not flashy plays from UT Dallas that you would expect. It's just solid Rocket League and mistake-free Rocket League that makes it so hard for Boise State Orange to punish them. Yeah,
again, just as you mentioned, the flashiness isn't there, but flashiness really is just that. It's flashiness. It's just extra flair on the goals that you're scoring. But a goal just counts as a goal, and UT Dallas is treating it exactly like that. They don't need any flashiness unless they're up by like a ton of goals. And these games are remaining close enough to where it's not necessary, and they're just scoring as many as possible while remaining safe on offense the whole time.
So you see a look around the unfortunately empty Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We've had players in here from time to time, but all of it, of course, taking into account social distancing. You can see the plexiglass screens between each computer. Of course, masks on as well. There's our production. There's plexiglass screens as well. Masks on from everybody there. So Boise State taking it very, very seriously as we're going to join Game 3. 30 seconds in progress, but what a time to join, Wade, as we see Shoali score the first goal of the game.
Yeah, just right off the bat, Shoali. It looks like he just established the pressure all on his own and was able to open up the opportunity on his own as Boise State struggled to rotate back in time. So early lead for UT Dallas. Not looking good from Boise State considering you don't want to be playing behind, especially against a good team like this, but see if they can bounce back.
Nice play off the back wall to Grubo, now over to Shoali. Wow. And that's something we've seen that from Boise State Blue, and that's really what the good teams do, is this great rotation of backboard in the back of the net.
Yeah, that's 2 backboard hits in a row, and then the third man comes right in, places that top shelf. Just excellent placement and power from Show. He's really stepping up in this third game here, trying to close out this series with a sweep.
If Boise State can keep this game competitive, they've done a great job in the first 2 games. As Caden can't quite find that one in already. It's a 3-0 lead for UT Dallas as Alpacasqueeze puts that one home just 45 seconds in.
This is just domination from UT Dallas. It's almost like they figured out exactly what Boise State's weakness was, had a little talk about it in between games 2 and 3 here, and then they're just pouncing on them. As soon as they see one mistake, they just take advantage of it instantly. No mercy here, at least at the start of this game, and UT Dallas is just all over them.
Nice job there by Caden to at least challenge Grubo on that one. Sholei's shot is going to go high, and Caden clears it out towards midfield. Grubo is there, but Caden reads that one perfectly off the wall, and the Broncos are in position for their first offensive attack of the game, just a minute into game number 3. Great job by Caden challenging Alpacasqueeze, but Sholei is there. Plays it down off the corner to himself, plays it around one member of Boise State, but there is Circuit defensively still holding strong. Grubo keeps it alive, but Caden doing a nice job challenging that one. Thunderama going into the corner. Sholei will elevate over him, tries to play that one off the wall. He's got Grubo charging in, but Caden does a great job. Alpacasqueeze turned away, and now with that first minute gone by, Boise State starting to strengthen things down and hold down defensively here. Maybe they can find a goal. We see a demolition onto Circuit, and now it's up to Caden, who does a great job at least pushing it away from one member of UT Dallas, but they had Grubo waiting. There's Circuit on the respawn, and Boise State holding strong defensively.
Yeah, that was a good job from Boise State. They started to maybe recognize how UT Dallas tended to set up those attacks and how they were taking advantage of their weaknesses on defense, and they started to hold strong there from that attack from UT Dallas. And at the start of that play, before that attack even started, they were on offense for a little bit, but it was shut down pretty quickly from UT Dallas. So we'll see if Boise State can transition here and maybe score some counterattacks from UT Dallas, possibly getting a little bit overconfident since they did score 3 goals earlier on in this match.
Another minute gone by. Nice demolition onto Sholei as Thunderama will clear that one down into the corner around Grubo, but Alpacasqueeze makes a great job there. Saving that one, he plays it around. Remember, Circuit last man on defense. Never a place you want to be, but he does a great job challenging Alpacasqueeze. But now, what a shot from Sholei. It's a hat trick for him, and unfortunately for Boise State, there's no one going to be in this replay.
Yeah, I mean, Circuit just popped it up high, tried to buy time for his team, but Sholei is going to be there as fast as possible, and it wasn't enough time for Circuit's 2 teammates to rotate back on defense. I think one of them might have even gotten demoed there, so Boise State, they're struggling to keep up at the speed that UT Dallas is bringing to the table here, but we'll see if they can adapt here in the rest of this match. And hopefully, I mean, it's 4-0, game's halfway done. They're going to have to do a lot of work here if they're going to want to come back, especially against a great team like UT Dallas, but I'm not going to count them out yet because I know as soon as I do that, Boise State is going to make me regret it.
Sholei now takes a shot on net. Caden tries to read it perfectly. Ball kind of pinballs around, and Boise State makes a save. Thunderama with a demolition onto Grubo to prevent another follow-up. So the Broncos hold here, only trailing 4-0. Game 3 with UT Dallas leading the series 2-0. Of course, the Comets, one of the top squads in PlayVS with a current 9-0 record, 2nd place overall. So Boise State Orange, but they're working out for them, and they're holding strong here. As we see the members, Thunderama, Caden, and Circuit, all now pictured as they've come into the arena to get their jerseys and get their picture taken. And for them, they have to be proud of this effort they're putting here, Wade, because they are definitely making UT Dallas work for this. And Boise State Orange, definitely the improvement we've seen is right now Caden, pass over to Thunderama, the give and go just a little bit behind him, and a nice clear there from Grubo.
Yeah, but again, Boise State, they've been on offensive pressure for a decent bit of time here, probably about 30 seconds here, but UT Dallas manages to hang in. They've defended off a bunch of offensive attacks from teams that play even faster than this Boise State Orange team, so I'm sure they're used to tougher opponents. So when the speed does get slowed down a little bit, it's probably that much easier for them. But it's not to say that this is just totally easy for UT Dallas to play against this Boise State squad. They did make them work a little bit, especially in that game 2 as the clock counts down here. It's looking like Boise State might get a couple more goals here, maybe one to further road, but I think it's safe to say at this point that UT Dallas is going to take this series in a sweep.
Yeah, we've seen some pretty crazy matches here in terms of goal score, especially by the Boise State Blue team against teams that we favor them against. So for Boise State Orange, they're about middle of the pack in PlayVS. I think a top 40, top 50 record overall. The hold with the number 2 overall seed is Sholei's going to put that one in at the very last second. Boise State Orange has got to be proud of how well they made UT Dallas work for it, because it was not easy for the Comets, as you mentioned, especially in games 1 and 2, where Boise State held close for a long, long period of time.
Yeah, I mean, it really seemed like early series, before UT Dallas could really get a feel for this team, it seemed like Boise State was getting a feel for them faster since they adapted by the time Game 2 came around, but UT Dallas, it seemed like they adapted by the time Game 3 came around. So despite these adaptations coming together, UT Dallas definitely on top, but Boise State definitely a valiant effort throughout the series.
Yeah, great to see from the orange squad here. 10 seconds left. Maybe they can find a goal to wrap things up, but Sholey's going to have different ideas there. He's going to pass back to Gruba, who will miss. Of course, goal differential huge in these series, so I don't think UT Dallas is just going to let one roll in for feel-good sake. They're going to try and put one in. It almost went in. I think Boise State had a member back, but the Comets are victorious here, so they will take down the orange squad 3-0. But once again, as we talked about, Wayne, this is one of the top squads in Rocket League. Just absolutely one of the squads we see time and time again. Quarterfinals, playoff action of NACE, top of the PlayVS bracket for Boise State Orange. To go toe-to-toe with them for about a game and a half really speaks to how well Boise State Orange has been improving since we saw them about a month ago.
Yeah, they have improved a ton, and they seem like really one of those teams that when they play a team like kind of at their skill level or a team with their similar record, they're not going to totally blow them out, but they're going to make it close, like not on purpose, of course, but it's probably going to be a close game, but they usually end up coming out on top since against those lower-seeded teams. But when they play an upper-seeded team, they're not just going to get completely blown out either. They're going to make it close, make them work for it, and it's not going to be as easy of a series as some of the upper seeds might expect it to be.
Well, we've already seen Boise State Blue lose their first game and come back for a win. We'll see if Boise State Orange can do the same thing. It's our final game of the Rocket League Wednesday series here in PlayVS. Game number 4 right around the corner. We'll leave you with the top 5 plays from the Broncos' 3-0 series loss to UT Dallas and come back for the Orange Squad shot at redemption in game number 4 of the night. Fish and Wait will have the call, and we'll be right around the corner after these top 5 plays. Versus Invitational. The first game for Boise State, a familiar opponent, the University of Texas. Back. Unfortunately, there was no one there. There is Thunderama finally able to save Boise State from what could have been a near disaster. Sholey corrals it in the corner. Circuit going to play himself off the wall. What a goal by Circuit.
That was just a great play. Circuit finding the first goal for Boise State in this series here in Game 2. That's just a great bump from Caden. They couldn't quite...
need to be making. It's the goals you need to score. Thunderama clears that one away, at least towards midfield, where Sholey will corral. Be making. It's the goals you need to score. Thunderama clears that one away, at least towards midfield.
Visit NationalGuard.com to begin your guard adventure.
Here in Idaho, we do things a little differently. First rule, camouflage never goes out of style. Next, always use fry sauce. I mean, why wouldn't you? Hold steady when out-of-state friends think you're from Iowa. We call it pop, not soda. We always put a lift on our pickups. And we always buckle up because we still have a lot we want to do, and I'm guessing you do too.
Welcome back to the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. We're going to wrap things up here with Boise State Orange taking on Dallas Baptist University in our final game of our Rocket League Wednesday night. Boise State right now sitting at a 1-2 record. The blue team going 1-1, and we just saw the orange team lose a 3-0 game to UT Dallas. But that was what we talked about. One of the top squads. I think one of the only undefeated squads still remaining in PlayVS, and Boise State definitely gave them a run for their money in game number 1 before UT Dallas put down the hammer. So we'll see what the Broncos can do in the final game of the night here against Dallas Baptist University. Broncos and Patriots going to come up very soon here, and we'll see if the orange team can wrap things up with a victory, because they've definitely been improving week by week. And as you mentioned, Wade, when we're against a team that's similar skill level, they definitely give them a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like every single time we see them go against a team that, like, with their similar record, usually, like, against a normal squad, you'd expect them to be like, oh yeah, it's probably going to be a close match. But Boise State Orange always tends to surprise us when we watch them play against teams with records similar to them. So I'm not sure about this record of this team. Maybe you could fill me in on that at some point. But yeah, Boise State Orange. Yeah, again, you never want to count them out. As soon as you do, they're going to prove you wrong. So I have high hopes for them in this match.
Well, how about this for our final keys to the game here, Wayton? Kick A's, take N's, crush the will and the spirit, and then send your mom a quick text on the way out.
All right, I love those keys.
See if Boise State Orange can take care of that, as it is all brought to you by Count, as we talked about. Their Identity Trust Global Network delivers real-time fraud prevention, account protection, and a personalized customer experience for more than 9,000 leading brands and payment providers. But I don't think they'll keep your mom safe from a good night text from Circuit after he scores the game-winning goal. But if you want to stay safe online, count.com for more information. So we'll see what Boise State Orange wants to do here against Dallas Baptist University in game number 1. Game is going to be kicking off, so we'll join in progress here very shortly, Waiting. Be curious to see if Boise State Orange already has the quick lead, or if Dallas Baptist is giving them a run for their money.
Yeah, I mean, I'd say, like, especially with how much Boise State Orange has improved with their kickoffs, I wouldn't be surprised if they give Dallas Baptist University a run for their money here. But it does look like we're going to be joining in 2 minutes into this match, and surprisingly, there's been 5 goals scored already. 4 of them coming out for DBU, but Boise State, whatever they've done so far, we haven't been able to see it, but hopefully they'll be able to bounce back.
So we'll see if the Broncos can maybe pose a comeback. Yeah, I don't know what happened these first 2 minutes, but they were apparently just way too much. They were like, the casters can't handle it, so let's wait, as we do see it's a 4-1 lead for the Patriots here. As Yikes the clock, going to try and clear down. Great job by Thunderama. 60s can't quite find anything there. We're going to see a nice job there by Shadowstar to take a shot on net. 2 minutes left. Boise State right now trying to find the clear down, and waiting right now. They really just can't find much. You can kind of see why Dallas Baptist has a 4-1 lead.
Yeah, I mean, just it's going back and forth here, but you can tell the touches seem to be more controlled by Dallas Baptist whenever they have the ball. But Boise State does seem to be doing a pretty good job of reading them so far as the touches that DBU is getting.
We see Shadowstar in the corner. Thunderama does a nice job, but unfortunately can't find the back of the net. Ball will be cleared down into the corner. Caden can't quite find it. Boise State right now trying to get a clear. Circuit's there as well. Shadowstar is going to stop that off the back wall. Yikes the clock takes a shot on net. Thunderama with the save, and Boise State now has a great opportunity. Caden and Thunderama going to kind of collide there. You see a demo from 60s on to Caden. And Boise State right now trying to find their second goal of the game. Minute and a half left. Ball just bouncing in front of the net. And Circuit finally finds a chance here to make this 4-2 game. Nice
job. We see Thunder coming up from the top of the field here. And Circuit taking a little bit of a 180. It looked like DBU was kind of a little bit scared to push out there. They weren't sure who was going to go for that. They didn't want to double commit, but I mean, it's better to double commit than have nobody commit, and that's going to cost them there. 2-goal game, 1:23 left on the clock. We saw Boise State Blue come back from situations like this multiple times earlier on tonight. We'll see if Boise State Orange can follow in their footsteps.
Yeah, see if Circuit, it does look like he has both goals for Boise State Blue, or Boise State Orange, excuse me. We did join this game late in progress with DBU already leading 4-1, so we did not quite see what went wrong for Boise State Orange, but right now Thunderama has a great opportunity. Can't quite play it off the back wall to himself. 1 minute left. We'll see if the Broncos can find the third goal and give themselves a chance. Circuit's going to clear it down. Caden racing. Kyle's played off the back wall. Circuit's there as well. Can he find the hat trick? No, it's just off the corner. And 60's now going to have a 3-on-1. Thunderama does what he can, and it is enough to keep Boise State in it.
Man, you've got to score those. I saw an opportunity for Circuit. Probably could have placed that on net almost anywhere except for down below, like at the bottom shelf of the goal, but unfortunately he places it too far to the side, doesn't really give himself the chance to put it on net, and I think that might be one of the few opportunities that you get in the rest of this match. So whatever they're doing right now, they're going to have to change something a little bit, play a little bit more aggressive in the last few moments of this game if they want to have a chance here.
See DBU competing in several games, and including they also looks like they had plans for their own esports arena on campus very soon. Circuit,
there we go.
He's got a chance. It's a hat trick, and there's 8 seconds left, which is plenty of time in Rocket League.
Yeah, there's that aggressiveness that we need. We see him dodging that bump right at the start. He gets the hat trick, scoring all 3 goals for Boise State off this nice solo dribble play. He really, again, he really is that catalyst for Boise State. So 8 seconds left. We saw Boise State Blue come back from this situation before. Let's see if Boise State Orange can follow in their footsteps as we see a crazy redirect back to their own half. That is going to give Boise State the possession, but DBU trying to kill it as soon as possible, and it looks like they are going to be able to put it in that corner. So Boise State Orange playing on the blue team in this match. A little bit confusing, but it is Boise State Orange that is going to be taking the L in this first game. But despite I think if you don't count the first 2 minutes of that game, I think Boise State did have the advantage there, considering we came in 2 minutes into this match and DBU was already winning 4-1.
Yeah, we did not see a single goal from Dallas Baptist after we joined. It was a 4-1 lead, as you mentioned, when we joined 2 minutes in, and the Broncos, thanks to Circuit, scored both of them. So maybe it was the Patriots who were interfering with our signal waiting because they know when we're casting it, they have no chance, because I'd love to see what Boise State could do, and I would not be shocked if we get 4 or 5 games out of this series, because it looked like once Boise State figured them out, DBU really had a couple opportunities, but no, I mean, they had a 3-on-1. Thunder didn't even make a save, and they kind of panicked and lost possession.
Yeah, it's like stage fright or something. Yeah, I knew they were being recorded, but yeah, I mean, Boise State. I think if they continue that momentum that they had at the end of that last game, we're gonna see a different story for this game too. And again, I don't really know what to say for Boise State to improve on, because what we saw from them in that game looked pretty good. There are just a couple more opportunities that I think they could have fulfilled and taken advantage of, as we saw. Like there was that one opportunity that Circuit just didn't quite get the placement on net, but I think they're going to bounce back here in game 2.
And we did not see a single goal from Dallas Baptist, so we'll see if that changes here in game number 2, as the Patriots going to easily win the kickoff. Circuit will punish Yikes O'Clock with the demo, but Caden's going to have to retreat. Shadow Star charging in. Boise State not able to clear it away. Now off the top of the crossbar, and there we go. Right off the kickoff. We've talked about it, Orange improving, but this time it's a kickoff that dooms them. It's the first goal for Dallas Baptist.
Yeah, this is such a great passing play. All 3 players involved from Dallas Baptist. You see it off the corner, off the back wall, and finally a finish from Shadow, and that's going to be another early lead for Dallas Baptist. Likely the similar story from game 1, but hopefully Boise State, they're not going to wait until the last 3 minutes of the game to start creating opportunities for themselves.
See there, Caden going to clear it down, and wow, that was an interesting bounce off the crossbar, but Boise State will take it.
Yeah, I think the last defender for DBU thought it was already on net, tried to make that save at the last moment. Fortunately, it was just out of his reach and just ended up putting it in his own goal. It's just a little bit unlucky there, but sometimes it just comes down to reading those and communicating with his teammates to figure out, is this on net, is it not? And then you figure out if you even have to make a save in the first place. And if you don't, and you still go for that save, then that can be pretty detrimental.
We see Boise State here, one aside now. Shadow Star, no boost, so he's not able to stop it from Caden. We do see double commit come out from Thunderama and Caden. Circuit, though, hey, I mean, if you're going to double commit, leave Circuit in net, you're usually going to be fine most of the time. He even bounces it over Shadow Star until we see Yikes O'Clock and 60s clear it down. Good job by Thunderama in the corner there. Going to try and play it off the back wall. Caden, I don't think that's the touch he wanted, but he'll take it.
Yeah, I think he was going for a dunk at first. But it was a rare miss on defense at this level of play. We see, just 60s not able to get the touch, and Caden was still there for the dunk and for the finish off in case they missed, and they're going to get that lead back. 4 minutes still left to play. A lot of time left on the clock for anything to happen in the rest of this match, but Boise State is definitely looking stronger here than they were in game 1.
Great read off the kickoff by 60s, who grabs the ball and then nearly air dribbles it all the way down. Circuit, of course, makes a great save, and Boise State looking for the clear. Caden and Shadow Star going to collide. Caden no boost, but does just enough before he gets ripped off the ball, but actually the momentum's going to give him a demo onto 60s. Yikes o'clock clearing it in front of the net, and that bump from Shadow Star actually ended up costing Dallas Baptist there because it resulted in a demo.
Yeah, and we see they're kind of keeping this pressure on pretty well, but I'm starting to like wonder how they scored so many goals at the start of the first game, because it's not like they're doing anything too crazy special, like with some crazy passing plays as we're seeing here from Boise State. If anything, Boise State's the one pulling off these crazy passing plays. I mean, look at this. You see Circuit with the first touch, Thunder back to Circuit, and then back to Thunder again, who finishes it off. That was just a great two-man passing play back and forth like 2 or 3 times there.
Boise State, as you mentioned, yeah, we missed game 1. At least we missed the first portion of it where Dallas Baptist put up 4 goals. We have only seen 1 goal since in Circuit.
Wow.
Now it's 4-1.
It's complete opposite.
What happened in game 1? I want to know what happened.
I don't know. We're 2 minutes in now. This is where we came. This is the point where we came in game 1. But it's like the other way around now. Now instead it's Boise State that's up 4-1. So yeah, I'm not sure what happened in game 1, but whatever it is, Boise State changed it up, or Dallas Baptist changed it up, and it's a completely different story.
Nearly off the kickoff, you saw Caden and Circuit try and elevate, just didn't have enough boost. Shadow Star will clear it down. Circuit intercepts it right on his own half. Going to try and aerial carry it as far as he can with limited boost. Gets skied up in the air by Shadow Star. Thunderama charging in. Nice little touch there, but it was a double commit and a save. But now Caden has an opportunity. Yikes the clock, wants to carry it towards midfield. Circuit will intercept it. It's still on the Broncos' side. Thunderama plays it away from 2. Circuit now in the corner, full boost, plays it over 60s. Wants to come charging in on the ball as well. Has his follow-up just stolen away from Yikes the clock. He will get the boost, be able to retreat as Caden now puts something on net, but 60s clears it away as you see Thunderama was coming in at the last second.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what we want to see from Thunder. Bumping on rotation. Unfortunately, Boise State not able to capitalize early enough before that bump can mean anything, but Thunder, he's going to keep on this pressure with a nice double tap attempt, but it is going to result in a pretty dangerous moment there for Circuit, but you can't count him out. He's always so comfortable on defense, redirecting that back to his own corner as he transitions this one right back to offense, all on his own without even the help of his team.
Carries it over 2, but couldn't quite get it past the 3rd. Caden there to help him out. Now Thunderama just below that ball. Caden's going to take a shot on net. Nice job by Shadow Step to be able to clear it away. And Shadow Star now chasing down Circuit. We see the members there of the orange team, Thunderama, Caden, and Circuit. Right now with a 4-1 lead on Dallas Baptist here in game number 2. Dallas Baptist a 4-3 winner in game 1, and Thunderama puts it home. Boise State extending that lead.
That's great placement from Thunder. He sees the defender kind of cutting across net, leaving the part behind him exposed. Just place it right behind his car, forces him to do a 180 and can't quite reach that in time. Now it's going to be a 4-goal lead for Boise State, and they are looking very dominant here.
Boise State with the 5-1 lead. So it doesn't look like the Broncos will blow a 4-1 lead like we nearly saw Dallas Baptist do in game number 1. They still held on, but 60s, right as I say that, gets them back within 3.
I mean, up by 3 goals, a minute 30 on the left. You're not completely in the clear, but you still should be pretty comfortable. But regardless, you've got to get those kickoffs on lock. It seems like Dallas Baptist has been practicing those kickoffs. They're looking pretty dominant on them so far. Haven't seen too many kickoff goals from Boise State in this series yet, but hopefully we'll start to see that change a little bit here throughout.
Shadow Star can't get that one, but Yikes the Clocks can, and he'll play it over Thunderama and Caden. But Caden does a nice job recovering there, and a double whiff there by Dallas Baptist, so the Patriots will have to full retreat, and 60's going to play it off the wall, trying to find a teammate, but Caden does a nice job challenging him. Yikes the Clock in a great position, though, and Thunderama challenging him. Gets a demo as well, and Boise State playing fast, going to open things up for Circuit, who plays it off the back wall. Can't quite get to himself, as both members of Dallas Baptist were there in position. Unfortunate respawning position, and Boise State now going to have to retreat, but they're still going to clear it down into the corner.
Yeah, they're managing to keep it on the Dallas Baptist half here. But again, I mean, they're playing passive here, but I think they're playing a little bit too passive. Like, you should be passive with the lead, but especially on a play like that, where it was at the midfield, and no one on Boise State was even putting any sort of pressure on Dallas Baptist. That can create some bad habits for the rest of the series, getting a little bit overconfident, but it does work out. Dallas Baptist doesn't really turn it into any sort of dangerous offensive attack here. I just feel like they're not quite capable of it with the strategies that they're putting on right now, but Boise State does manage to make a nice save there on the goal line. Dallas Baptist is forcing them to work for it, but still pretty dominant for Boise State here in game 2.
See if the Broncos want to find a last-second goal. They do not. They will let the ball touch the ground, and they will even up the series with a nice 5-2 win. Be curious to see here in this best of 3 that we're going to be setting up for who ends up winning between Boise State Orange and Dallas Baptist University right now. Our final game of the night in our Rocket League Wednesday, the PlayVS Invitational regular season. Orange right now sitting with an 0-1 record. We'll see if they can make it 1-1. Well, 2020 has been tough, and Respawn wants to make it better. They partnered up with NACE and eFuse to give away 250 gaming chairs to 18 different collegiate and high school programs. Programs can submit a video showing how the Respawn gaming chairs can transform their program. If you want more information, go check them out on Twitter at eFuseOfficial for more information and help turn around your 2020 for your collegiate or high school esports program. We're going into game 3 here. As we talked about, Wayne, it's just sort of a mini series reset. It's now a best of 3 between these schools. And from what we've seen, this should be a Boise State Orange at least victory, because we have seen very little from Dallas Baptist. Like we said, we joined game 1. They didn't score a single goal after we joined, and they only scored 2 in game 2, and it never really felt like that game was that close.
Exactly, yeah. It just seemed dominant on the side of Boise State. So, again, I'm curious to see like how that game 1 even went. How did Dallas Baptist start off to such an early lead? Like, was there some sort of miscommunication? Was there a disconnect or something? Or were they just popping off? Or was Boise State making a bunch of mistakes over and over? I'm not sure if we're going to find out, but regardless, Boise State, I think they've got the advantage, especially momentum-wise, heading into the rest of this series. So we'll see if they can keep it up.
Uh-oh. Maybe this is right here. We talked about it. That's just a, you all in on the attack, and there's nobody back on defense for Shadow Star's first goal.
Yeah, that's just the double commit right there at midfield. A double commit and a missed touch. That's not a good combination to have. Again, that just results in something detrimental most of the time, and Dallas Baptist is going to take advantage of it with a nice shot from Shadow.
See demolition onto Circuit as we get the kickoff here, but right now the Broncos still in control. Shadowstar and his teammate going to combine there as 60s gets credit for the shot on goal. Thunderama will make the save as Thunderama can't quite get that one, but Circuit and Caden can combine for the backup save. And now the Broncos offensively as Circuit loses the dribble there. Going to allow Yikes the Clock to clear it down. Caden pops it off the wall over to Thunderama. Can't quite redirect it though. Looks like he got a little bit of a touch on it, and Caden does just enough with it to put it home and tie the game up.
That was just great shot placement from Caden. That's something that we've seen him struggle a little bit with in the past, but this placement here from Caden was so perfect. Just below the crossbar, totally out of the reach of the last defender, especially not able to recover after making that first save originally. His 2 teammates weren't able there to back him up, and Boise State ties this up pretty quickly here in game 1, or in game 3. So hopefully keep that momentum going as they transition onto offense here, making it still pretty dangerous for Dallas Baptist. And that's going to be a 2-1 lead. We're starting to look more dominant here again.
Yeah, and this is just something that we've seen from Boise State Blue. All 3 members touch on the ball. Nice pass over to Thunderama, who plays it off the back of the net, and they're just all in perfect rotation. And like we've talked about, from what we've seen, Boise State Orange has been the dominant team, but the series is still tied at 1-1 thanks to Dallas Baptist's win in game number 1. Right off the kickoff, nearly goes in the back of the net. Caden and Circuit both required to making huge saves, and now Caden wants to carry it down. Shadowstar retreating. He'll play it off the back wall, but Caden reads it perfectly and puts it back right there. Ball still bouncing. Yikes the Clock finally will come out. It looks like the Broncos were bumping him around in the goal, but no one wanted for the ball. Circuit's pass for Thunderama just a little bit too high, and Boise State's going to have to retreat.
Yeah, they are. They're starting to make, even when they do retreat, as you mentioned, it seems like Dallas Baptist is starting, they're struggling to bring it onto the Boise State offense onto their half as fast as possible. And even moments like those, Thunder, that wasn't a miss from him. That was just him trying to read the opponent's dunk, the opponent's touch, and there was no touch from the opponent. And because of that, even though it was a miss from Thunder, Caden was able to just finish it off on the open net. So it seems like Boise State is just there for almost every single ball that Dallas Baptist has. They're not able to do anything controlled, start any controlled passing plays, because Boise State is just all over every sort of ball.
See right there, Circuit scoring off the kickoff. Thunderama comes charging in, but a great clear by 60s to keep it away from his net. As you see it cleared back down into the corner. We've seen a little bit more about Dallas Baptist. As we mentioned, they compete in League of Legends, Rocket League, Super Smash Bros., Madden, FIFA, and NBA 2K with plans underway for a dedicated gaming space on campus which of course are not quite on campus, but it's still one of those things that is always nice to have, so you get away from your your dorm or the library that we Boise State, of course, used to be in, and have your own dedicated space. So Dallas Baptist, one of those growing esports programs right now, challenging Boise State Orange. Nice pass back to Thunder. Unfortunately, Circuit didn't get off the ball in time, and they just kind of collided, but Boise State Orange keep up the pressure. Caden tries to clear it around, but yikes the clock, a nice spot there until he loses the dribble.
Yeah, they're looking a little bit more comfortable on defense here, talking about Dallas Baptist. They seem to be not double committing as much as they were previously in the series, but regardless, Boise State still, at the same time, I feel like they're getting more comfortable on offense and defense at the same time. So as Dallas Baptist is starting to read Boise State's attacks a little bit more, Boise State is getting stronger and stronger with defense and offense. So they're definitely going to have to change up a little bit more if they want to have a chance against Boise State.
Nice save there by Yikes the Clock. We saw a demo off screen on to 60s, and Boise State almost had an opportunity. It's Circuit!
Wow.
That's a rocket into the top left corner, and it's 4-1.
That's just the placement that we are looking for throughout this whole series. Circuit places that top left corner completely out of reach and with power from any sort of Dallas Baptist defender, and that's just all it takes to score a goal. One shot with power and placement. That's just uncontested, and then you're basically screwed on defense if they're able to get that touch. Okay. But there we go. They're going to answer quickly. It's keeping this at a 2-goal game. That's a very nice passing play. Great pass from Yikes over to Shadow Star. Just a redirect that the defense couldn't quite read in time, and that's going to be a 2-goal game. Once again, it's like that previous goal never happened.
Yeah, great job by Dallas Baptist. A couple times they've been able to answer back thanks to Shadow Star, but Boise State has been able to increase their lead. It's Thunderama and Shadow Star going to go up for it. Circuit with a nice touch, but yikes the clock, making a huge save there. Ball still on the Dallas Baptist side as all three members of the Patriots there commit on that one. Caden still wins it. Ball gets centered towards midfield. No one in rotation for the Broncos. It's 60 now. Going to pass it down to Shadow Star. He'll retreat with a pass back to Yikes the Clock. He wants to carry it towards midfield, and unfortunately for Dallas Baptist, has to feel like a lost possession there as Caden gets it right back. But Shadow Star with a huge save, and once again, we've talked about it all night. There seems to be one player for a lot of teams Boise State play who is that sort of anchor, and right now Shadow Star keeping Dallas Baptist in it, but Caden's going to spike that one home.
Yeah, there we go. Caden making up for that little bit of a misplacement on the previous shot. He's going to place it down bottom left here, where no defender could even close to reach it. We see one defender trying to get back there in time, but can't quite reach it just in time because of that great placement from Caden. So great job there, getting the 3-goal lead. The series is tied up, but it's looking like this next game is going to go in Boise State's favor.
Yeah, minute left and 3 goals, not out of the realm of possibility, but how about 4 goals? Oh, man, Thunder almost had that when you saw Circuit was rotating down as well. But unfortunately, Boise State couldn't quite find it, so 60s will carry it down to the corner. 1 minute left. If Dallas Baptist can find a goal here, they'd have a chance at a comeback. But a great clear. Thunderama pass down to Circuit. Can they get the give and go? No. Yanks the clock in a great spot there. Now Caden has to retreat. He'll read that one and just push it away. And then Boise State right now just content to play passive defense with a 3-goal lead in 40 seconds left.
Yeah, they don't need to work for anything, but it's important that you keep attacking. You don't want to give Dallas Baptist any room to get confident with their passing plays here, as we see. That's exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get those passing plays together. Again, this one's going to be from Yikes over to Shadow. They really seem to be the dynamic duo of this team, with Shadow particularly being the good catalyst, finishing off all these goals that Dallas Baptist is setting up as a team. But Boise State still maintaining this lead here. 30 seconds left. It's not over for Dallas Baptist in Game 3, but it's looking like it's in Boise State's favor.
Nice job there from Circuit off that clear, and that probably will do it. It's a hat trick for Circuit in Boise State. Great job there with Thunderama over to Circuit.
He was just up to that so fast. There wasn't even any sort of any opponent up for that to contest him on that aerial, and no opponent back either, because you know they had to get aggressive, down by 2 with 20 seconds left. And unfortunately, it's going to go the other way this time. Boise State, they maintain the lead, but not only do they maintain it, they increase it by a little bit here in the final few seconds as they just keep piling on the pressure, trying to keep Dallas Baptist from building up any sort of momentum going into the next game.
Nice job from Shadow Star over to Yikes the Clock. They can't quite find the back of the net. Now 5 seconds left. We'll see if Boise State can score 1 final goal. Caden's going to take a shot on net.
Wow.
Nice save by Yikes the Clock there. And the ball will touch the ground. But the Broncos still victorious here, 6-3. It's been an offensive showcase between Boise State Orange and Dallas Baptist University. Now the Broncos with a 2-1 series lead heading into Game 4. We'll see if they can wrap things up here, Wade, because from what we've seen, Boise State Orange has definitely been the team who's had the advantage most of the time.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to pick one player that I'm impressed with, it'd definitely be Caden. Like I mentioned, the shot placement is something that you don't really see him. It's not like he's struggled with it in the past, but it's not really like he's been known for it in the past either. And tonight, his placement is great. He's placing everything with power and at the top shelf when he needs it, especially from those passes from his teammates off the backboard and everything. So great job from him so far. We'll see if he can keep it up in this, hopefully, final game of the series if Boise State can keep this trend going.
Yeah, unfortunately, we've seen Boise State Blue already blow a 2-1 series lead in our first game of the night to UC Riverside. So nothing is safe quite yet as we take a look around the Boise State Game Pants Esports Arena. Not as full as we would like it to be, but still very, very grateful that we're able to be here. As we see Doc there preparing, giving his team last-minute advice for game number 4. See if Orange can wrap up the series here, end the night with a 1-1 overall record, and Boise State can just maintain the course at 2-2 for the night on this Rocket League Wednesday in the PlayVS Invitational. Boise State Orange, Dallas Baptist University, potentially our last game of the night, game 4. It's been all Boise State the last 2 times, but right off the kickoff, it's Demolition onto Circuit. Thunderama is there, and he'll clear it away, and Demolition onto Shadow Star, and that should shut down Dallas Baptist with their best player out of the game for a little bit.
Yeah, that's definitely, if you're going to demo someone, you're going to want it to be Shadow Star. They seem like they're really, you can't start an offensive play without using Shadow Star if you're Dallas Baptist right now. Just whenever they do something dangerous on offense, he's always going to be involved. So if you're going to want to demo someone on if you're Boise State and you want to demo someone, then that's probably the guy you want to demo.
Rama able to push that one away. He will be collided into by Circuit, so a double commit there is going to cost Boise State an excellent offensive possession. Yikes the clock. Can't quite find it in the corner, but he will take the full boost away from Boise State. And then there's Shadow Star, as we talked about, clearing it down into the corner. A huge just collision on the ball, and it barely gets pushed over to Yikes the clock. A great demo there by Shadow Star, and he's the MVP on that goal.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he just opened up the defense there. Despite this looking like a solo play from Yikes, this would not have been nearly as easy if there was a defender in net. But fortunately, Shadow Star coming through, barreling through Caden there, just opening up the net completely there. And it's going to be a pretty easy goal after that demo. 1-0 for Dallas Baptist.
Yeah, great just map awareness by Shadow Star, landing after he went for the ball and saying, hey, there's a guy on net, let me just get the demo. And a great job by him. So Boise State, for the first time we've seen, trailing early in a game. Of course, game 1 we joined in progress, and we didn't see how Dallas Baptist took the early lead. The Shadow Star is going to get a demolition onto Caden, and it looks like these demolitions might have been key as Exit Clock's another beneficiary.
That was just, again, great shot placement. That's really what it's coming down to. They don't have to open up the net completely most of the time. All you need is that great shot placement, and Yikes o'clock, he's going to make it happen with that top corner shot. There was a defender back in net, but they weren't covering that top corner because that's pretty far out of your reach. And Dallas Baptist looking pretty strong, stronger than we've seen them so far here in Game 4.
2-0 lead for the Patriots. Circuit going to try and play that one off the back wall. Yikes o'clock reads it. Thunderama, though, is there. Pass over to Caden, and the ball pinballs in, and Boise State staying close.
That was just a great 50 from Caden. Again, that wasn't even uncontested, but he was just there, had a much more solid 50 than that defender on the ball. He just powers it right through. Back down to a 1-goal game. 3.5 minutes left. Anything can happen here, but I mean, I think both teams are looking pretty evenly matched in this fourth game.
Right off the kickoff, ball's a little bit behind Caden. Otherwise, that could have been a kickoff goal. Circuit nearly puts it home, but his shot contested, and now Boise State's got to retreat. Shadow Star and Yikes o'clock going to run into each other, and Caden's able to challenge and get the nice dunk over Shadow Star. 60s pops it up in the air. Circuit's still going to maintain possession. He'll center it. Nice bump onto Yikes o'clock, but Shadow Star was the man with the ball. He'll pass it down to 60s. Takes a shot on net. No redirect from anybody. And Boise State survives for now. There's Circuit once again making a great save to keep Boise State in the game.
Man, that was just it was a great play on offense, but an even better play on defense for Circuit to read that passing play. Passing plays are like twice as hard to read on defense as they are to pull off on offense. So it was a great job from Circuit being the savior that he is, how we've known him to be in these play versus games. As we see him kind of getting pummeled by Dallas Baptist there, and Caden is going to try and bail him out.
Thunderama tried to slam that one in net. He'll hit the crossbar, unfortunately, and now we saw Circuit challenging Shadow Star in the corner. Couldn't steal it away from him. Thunderama on the second attempt can. and he'll pop it up over towards midfield. 60 keeps it alive for Dallas Baptist as Yikes the Clock in the corner out of boost, and he'll just come hurtling down to earth along with the ball as Shadowstar now wraps it around. Great job by Thunderama with the save. Tries to clear it out to Circuit like you talked about, waiting, get it clear over to a teammate, but a great job by Yikes the Clock to push it back, and now Caden hits it over, and now we're just going to start playing volleyball until a great steal by Caden to Thunderama. Can he finish it? No! Yikes the Clock with a great position there to stop the follow-up.
And I think that Thunderama, if maybe he didn't realize it, but I think there was an opportunity there to just shoot it right on net at that top shelf, but instead he tried to put it off the backboard where a defender might have been ready for it, at least just as ready as Circuit was to follow it up. Normally when an opportunity like that happens, you just got to take it, especially if you're down by one, because you're not going to get opportunities like that very often, especially if you're working from behind.
Rama, unfortunately, has just been one of the most unlucky players this game. I think he's hit the crossbar 3 times when he's tried to tie this game up, as we see a crossbar hit there from 60s. Yikes the Clock tries to put it in the corner. Caden does a great job peeling it away from him, as we see Thunderama, Caden, and Circuit there on screen. The members of your Boise State Orange Rocket League team currently leading the series over Dallas Baptist 2-1, but the scoreline not in their favor in game number 4. As we see Yikes the Clock intercepts that one, a demolition onto Caden. Thunderama in the corner, can't corral it, but the ball still stays on the side until 60s is there to clear it away. Shot very wide, and under a minute left now for Boise State Orange, and Shadowstar can't quite end the game. Nice clear away there by Caden and Thunderama. Over to Circuit, plays it off the back wall, but it looks like Caden bailed early, and Boise State doesn't have a possession.
They are going to keep this on offense, though. I'm really happy with how Boise State is. They're doing what they want with the ball most of the time, as we see Caden kind of bringing it up and bringing it back down. Probably communicated there that he couldn't get that final touch, and that's why that teammate, he had a teammate there ready to follow up that touch, so it's good communication going on. You can tell that's happening. That play wouldn't have happened if there wasn't communication, but unfortunately they are running out of time to score this final goal and hopefully end this series right off here by sending it into overtime. But right now, they've got to work fast if they want to have a chance.
Yeah, we saw demolition on the Caden, and now there's 7 seconds left. Looks like Yikes the Clock nearly could end it here. Boise State's probably going to have to carry it the length of the field in extra time. Unfortunately, they can't quite do it. So Dallas Baptist are your 2-1 winners here in game number 4. And now we're headed to a winner-take-all game number 5. What a perfect way to end up our Rocket League Wednesday here. Then a winner-take-all game between Boise State and Dallas Baptist.
Yeah, I'm excited. You know, we saw Game 5. I think we've had one Game 5 so far tonight, and unfortunately it didn't go in Boise State's favor, but it was Boise State Blue playing earlier tonight, and this is a whole new team. Well, hopefully we're not going to have much pressure going on. Boise State Orange is going to bounce back, keep the pressure going, and yeah, we're going to take a look at some of the highlights here from the game so far.
Yeah, game 2 and 3, very Boise State dominated there. We saw it was a 6-3 win in game number 3 for Boise State. They scored 5 goals in game number 2. And that was really the first time that we've seen Boise State's offense get shut down, because they even put up 3 goals in game number 1. And this time they just could not find the back of the net, but not for lack of trying, as we talked about. Thunderama, I think, hit the crossbar 3 times. And if he's just a little bit to the left or right on any of those shots, it could have been a whole different game. So Boise State, very close, but still the worst offensive performance we've seen in this series for them.
Yeah, I definitely agree. I think Yikes the Clock was really the difference maker in this game for Dallas Baptist. It seemed like in the games that we saw earlier, he wasn't really there for the matches that Boise State won. But in this game, he really stepped up even more so than Shadowstar did, who was the main star for the games that Boise State did end up winning. So I think if Yikes the Clock continues popping off, getting the shot placement on, getting those solo plays down, being there whenever his team needs him to be there, I think this game might go in favor of Dallas Baptist.
Just right off the kickoff, Thunderama puts it home. In Boise State, there's a way to start game number 5, a quick kickoff goal. It's something we've talked about, something they've been improving on, and Thunderama does just that.
Wow, just power through on the kickoff. And Thunder, again, that's the trust that you have in your team, that they're going to either kill it or push it to the opponent's half to push up that aggressively. And Thunderama, he has that trust in his teammates to get good kickoffs, and you can tell it works out. Having trust in your teammate is definitely a benefit.
See there, great carry by 60s over in front of the net, but a good clear by Boise State. Circuit now in the corner, can't quite get the full boost. There he will, he'll find it now, and they'll retreat. we'll see what Yikes the Clock wants to do. The player that Waden said needs to have a big game for Dallas Baptist to be able to win this one, as he was huge in game number 4, scoring both goals. And of course, Shadow Star getting 2 huge demos. As Thunderama pops it up over 1. Huge triple commit in the midfield there. And Boise State able to win possession. And now we're going to see 60s passes it over to Yikes the Clock, plays it around Thunderama, down into the corner, plays it off the wall over Caden, and Circuit last man back, but he doesn't miss those, and he'll be able to clear it away from now. Shadow Star wants to recenter it, and Thunderama does just enough to keep it away from his own net.
Yeah, that was just a great controlled play from Thunderama, pushing it out, forcing it through that last offender in order to break it out of your own half on defense. And then he gets a huge boomer to finish it off the transition. And we see Caden here just barely going to get beat to that one aerial. Looked like he had the shot online, though. Again, that's the placement that he's been popping off with in this series. And we see a great counterattack here. Possibly might be able to set it up for a final goal. But unfortunately, Circuit not able to get there in time. I think he might have been out of boost, but that's an opportunity that you should be taking advantage of if you want to have a chance.
Boise State's still going to maintain offensive possession. Circuit in the goal, trying to get some bumps, but a great clear around by Yikes the Clock. Plays it over Thunderama. Caden only can just kill it in the corner, and Shadow Star is going to try and waterfall it over to 60s, who takes a shot, but Caden in net, going to make a great save for Boise State to keep them in the lead here in game number 5. Winner take all in our final game of the night in the PlayVS Invitational on a Rocket League Wednesday. And 60s now going to try and drive it home, but Circuit, he does not miss very often on defense, and he turns that into instant offense. Is now Thunderama going to play it off the back wall. It'll waterfall down off the back of Yikes the Clock, but 60's there to keep it away from Boise State.
Yeah, Boise State, they're just piling on the pressure here. There were a couple close calls there on defense, but they did make those saves. They were pretty good saves, as in they didn't just give it right back to the opponents for an immediate follow-up shot. They did it with purpose to a teammate or to a corner, making it as hard as possible to keep on the pressure. And as we see them transitioning onto offense, they look like they're connecting really well, playing fast, rotating fast around, not giving Dallas Baptist any extra space.
Nice job there by Thunderama. Played it over 60. He's going to pass it over to Circuit, but again, an intercept there by Yikes the Clock, and he'll play it down into his own corner where Shadow Star is waiting. Finally gets possession. Caden does challenge it, so he'll clear it over to Thunderama, who can't find a touch on it, and Dallas Baptist, now the Patriots, have an opportunity. From 60s over to Yikes the Clock. Gets bumped off the ball. Shadow Star elevates, but Caden is there to dunk it over him, and Thunderama will play it off the wall just onto the side of Dallas Baptist before 60s clears it back. And 2 minutes left now. Boise State trying to cling to this 1-0 lead. Caden make another huge save. Demolition onto 60s. Opportunity here for Boise State as 60s respawns.
The shot?
Shot from Circuit. Nice save from Shadow Star. He's been huge all series for Dallas Baptist.
And I think if a Boise State player was there a little bit earlier, they might have had the shot in time before a defender could cut it off. But unfortunately, it's not going to work out that easy for them this time. As they do keep on the pressure, Dallas Baptist does seem to be panicking a little bit in their own net. We see a couple double commits here and there, but for the most part, they do seem to be hanging on. But Boise State still, they're piling on good pressure. They don't have to score, so I'm hoping they don't commit too hard here on offense, considering an insurance goal would be nice, but it is not required.
Yeah, you don't want to go for the insurance goal below the lead, but hey, there's an insurance goal from Circuit, and he's been spectacular all series with a great assist from Caden.
Yeah, that's just that great placement from Circuit. Beats the defender to the ball. He was up there so fast and got the power and placement. That's everything you can ask for on an aerial like that. And now Boise State up 2-0. Minute 20 left on the clock. Dallas Baptist, they have to work from behind here. They're going to have to be aggressive, and they're going to hope that they score on their first few attacks here.
Circuit making a nice save there, stealing away from Yikes the Clock, who gets demoed by Caden. He will respawn, and then Shadow Star will get demoed. So Boise State keeping this in a 3v2. Shadow Star will now respawn, and Thunderama can't get to the ball. Minute left. We've seen it done before by Boise State Blue, but this could be the game winner. No, Caden, it's just to the left. He had a wide open net and just shot a bit too quickly, so Dallas Baptist's chances remain slim, but still alive.
Yeah, I mean, I think that one definitely would have been the dagger to just basically live out the rest of this game in peace and comfort. But unfortunately, they are going to have to keep working and piling on this pressure as we see Caden and Circuit. Circuit's actually just going to bring this back to try and stall time. That's going to go right across net. Now they've got that much less time to establish the pressure and break down the defense of Boise State. And it's looking at, as the clock gets closer and closer to 0, Boise State is getting more and more comfortable that they're going to win this series.
Time ticking away from Dallas Baptist right now. Boise State more than content to let them dribble it down. 10 seconds left. The Patriots need a goal now and a chance off a kickoff to potentially force us to overtime. But Boise State's defense is impeccable. Last chance here for Shadow Star. Circuit makes the easy save and that is going to do it. Boise State will be victorious as Dallas Baptist cannot score 2 points in 0 seconds, and the Broncos with a nice little come-from-behind victory after they lost Game 1. They'll take the series to make it an all-square night, 2-2. Both Boise State teams going 1-1 overall, Waiting. And really a great job by Boise State Orange. About the only thing I have to say is I really am curious what happened in the first 2 minutes of Game 1, where we came into a 4-0 deficit, and I was like, oh no, this could be bad.
Yeah, right. I'm still curious. I think it is probably something similar to what we saw in Game 4 there, where Dallas Baptist just kind of ran away with it. We saw Yikes O'Clock stepping up a lot with the shot placement and everything, really getting himself involved in all the plays. So I think that's probably something like that happened in Game 1 at the start. But Boise State probably figured that out, tried to shut it down as much as possible, and they managed to do that early on as they could. And they ended up pulling off the dub, even though it wasn't Game 5. A close and exciting series, but Boise State coming out on top.
Yeah, always good to win those Game 5s, and Boise State Orange has got to be happy that they could at least make it even with a 1-1 overall record. So we will have our ICCU player of the game. Any suggestions from you waiting on who it should be between Circuit, Caden, and Thunderama?
I'd say Circuit. He seemed like the most involved. Where defense, offense, he was everywhere on the field. That really seems like we're coming back each week, seeing Circuit come back. He doesn't really have any off weeks. He's always popping off on defense and offense. So he's a really good player to count on to have on your team.
Yeah, definitely. We've talked about just the kickoff evolution for Boise State Orange. Circuit's been one player where, about a month ago it was like, man, he's so good defensively, and he's added an offensive repertoire into his game, and he is now taken over as the main goal scorer. But it's actually going to be Caden, who is our offensive, or who is our ICCU player of the game. And him and Circuit, I mean, they both have C's in their name, and they both score most of the goals.
Yeah, it could have gone either way with this one. Really, everyone on Boise State popped off, but yeah, Circuit and Caden definitely for the most part. We see Caden, it's just a great power in there, sneaking it in. Again, it was really the placement today from Caden that he played so well. This was one of the best, some of the best Rocket League we've seen him play, whether it would be the speed or the placement. Again, it wasn't even just on the shots; it was also the passes as well. He's working so well with all of his team, throughout this entire series. He didn't really make that many mistakes. And the placement, again, he popped off, scored those goals when Boise State needed him to, and that's really what it came down to in this series.
Yeah, as you mentioned, I mean, we both nominated Circuit. Caden is your ICCU player of the game, but I mean, Thunderama, he doesn't score as many goals, but he probably had maybe the biggest one. He had the first goal in game number 5 and allowed Boise State to always be in control. So as you mentioned, all 3 members for Boise State's Orange team played spectacularly here to have a little bit of a come-behind victory. They lost Game 1 and then never really relented and won this series in 5 games. As we take a look at some of the replays here, and as you mentioned, it seems to be a theme. There's usually an assist, and the other member for the team is in the picture ready for the follow-up if needed.
Right, exactly. It's just like they're always backing each other up. They're working as a team instead of just working individually on solo plays and everything. And that's really what you love to see on Rocket League. It is a team game. You're not supposed to be working solo. The team plays are really what makes Rocket League such a great game. And that's why I love watching Boise State play so much, is their play style. They utilize the team plays as much as possible.
So big congratulations to Caden. He is your ICCU player of the game. ICCU, who believes a great player makes a team more successful, just like they're helping their members achieve financial success. Caden is the player of the game, and Boise State Orange with a Game 5 winner over Dallas Baptist to end the night 1-1. So both Boise State teams find a victory. They both find a loss as well, so they'll stay even in PlayVS, and we'll see as the regular season wraps up if both teams won or, unfortunately, neither are able to qualify for the playoffs, as Boise State Blue was bounced in the round of 32 in the NACE playoffs just a week ago. Well, that will wrap things up for our Rocket League Wednesday here. Fish and waiting. It's been a spectacular season. Can't wait to see how PlayVS goes and to have you in here as long as possible. Waiting until Boise State unfortunately bows out of the playoffs. Of course, a big shout out to everyone who's in chat tonight, production as well, and then once again, a happy Veterans Day to any of those who are watching or anyone who has someone in their family. We are very, very grateful for your service. Well, that will wrap things up tonight. We've got Overwatch on the docket tomorrow for Boise State in the semifinals of the NACE playoffs. We'll have our top 5 plays from our final series of the night to close things out, but until next time, have a great evening.
First game, but despite I think if you don't count the first 2 minutes of that game, I think Boise how they scored so many goals at the start of the first game, because it's not like they're doing anything too crazy special, like with some crazy passing plays as we're seeing here from Boise State. If anything, Boise State's the one pulling off these crazy passing plays. I mean, look at this. You see Circuit with the first touch, Thunder back to Circuit, and then back to Thunder again, who finishes it off. I'm hoping they don't commit too hard here on offense, considering an insurance goal would be nice, but it is not required.
Yeah, you don't want to go for the insurance
And
goal
there
and
we
blow
go.
the lead, but hey, there's an insurance goal from Circuit. He's been spectacular all series with a great assist from Caden.
Yeah, that's just that great placement from Circuit. Beats the defender to the ball. He was up there so fast and got the power and placement. That's everything you can.
Sorry, as we talked about, clearing it down into the corner. A huge just collision on the ball, and it barely gets pushed over to Yikes the Clock. A great demo there by Shadow Star, and he's the MVP on that goal.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, he just opened up the defense there. Despite this looking like a solo play from Yikes, this would not have been nearly as easy if there was a defender in team. But Boise State still maintaining this lead here. 30 seconds left. It's not over for Dallas Baptist in Game 3, but it's looking like it's in Boise State's favor.
Nice job there from Circuit
Wow.
off that clear, and that probably will do it. It's a hat trick for Circuit in Boise State. Great job there with Thunderama over to Circuit.
He was just up.
There seems to be one player for a lot of teams Boise State play who is that sort of anchor, and right now Shadow Star keeping Dallas Baptist in it, but Caden's going to spike that one home.
Yeah, there we go. Caden making up for that little bit of a misplacement on the previous shot. He's going to place it down bottom left here, where no defender could even close to reach.